Listen, it's the playlist for me. How are y'all? Hello, hello, hello. Hey, millionaire cousins. How y'all doing? How are you feeling? Listen, I had to put on my money green tonight because we made our first trade officially. And today we are going to sell it. Now, whether you are doing it with paper money or whether you are doing it with real money, we made it. We did it. We made it. And I am so proud of each and every one of you because you have stayed until the almost end, right? The almost end, because we already know if you are in VIP, then you have 3 hours tomorrow with Terry during the Q&A. And do not worry. Your paper money didn't work. That's okay, because you can try it again. Try the paper money again. But that's right, the money green, yes, because we are millionaire cousins. But no, so here's the thing. I want you to remember, tomorrow there is a VIP, and that session is with Terry and only Terry, and for 3 hours straight, she is going to simply answer questions. So if you are not a VIP yet, I promise you there is still time. Our team will go ahead and put that link for you in the chat, wherever your chats are. You will be able to see it. But yes, for 3 hours tomorrow, you will have that time. And it is straight answering questions. And remember, Rachel Rogers gave us a great point of information. And she told us, don't ask questions you can Google. You want to ask questions. Yes, Saturday will be recorded as well, but you want to make sure that you're not asking questions that you can Google, but you are asking questions that you actually need answers to. So remember, if you're not VIP yet, there is still time. So now, before we hop into the nitty gritty and the good stuff, I want to know, where is everyone from? Where are you from? And to my knowledge, tomorrow begins at 7 and it was supposed to end at 9, but now y'all get 3 whole hours. So y'all gonna get from 7 to 10 p.m. Yes, we got DMV, we got Ohio, we got Brooklyn, we got the UK, okay, Toronto, South Korea. Y'all, we are international. Yes, we got Michigan, we got St. Louis, Ohio, London, Oregon, St. Martin. Oh, I love St. Martin. We've got Brooklyn, New York, we've got Minnesota, Louisiana, Florida, New Jersey, North Carolina, Delaware, H-Town, stand up. We got Wisconsin. Listen, y'all are literally from all over the globe. And every single night, thousands of you have joined us right here together to take your first trade with Terry Ijeoma of Trade and Travel. And I don't think y'all understand just how powerful that is. I don't know about y'all, but I have felt incredibly empowered. Not only watching you do it, but me do it. I got some great quotes that I'm going to forever and ever keep with me, especially procrastination and fear is expensive. If I don't remember nothing else, I'm going to remember that. Why? Because I don't like to just waste and lose monies. I don't know about y'all, but I like to take my money and make it work for me. Yes, shout out to the fellow Brits. Yes. All of our Brits in the house. But now listen, I need y'all to do me a favor, right? It has been a phenomenal past 5 days. And that was 7 p.m. Central. So that means it'll be 8 p.m. Eastern, okay? I am absolutely going to miss each and every one of you, but I need y'all to do me a favor. Before we get started, before Terry gets started and she goes in and shows you, breaks it down for us, to showing us how to sell it, I need you to send her, and she can't even see it yet, but I want it to be that when she gets here, that all she sees is a whole mirage of just well wishes, of how excited you all are for everything that you've learned. So if you can just put in the chat just how you're feeling about this week, what you are grateful for, how she has shown up for us each and every night. Thank you so much, Makita. Thank you. Yes, I love that. Put a thank you, Terry. I'm feeling grateful. You did the thing. Yes. Terry is truly changing lives. I want to see it in the chat. I need to see it so that when she comes here, all she sees is just so much Oh, yes, yes. Feeling motivated, so grateful to this life changing experience. She's a shining example, an amazing teacher. Super thankful for what she did. Thank you for your expertise. This has been life changing. Empowered. Yes, she did step harder. She looked good every night doing it. Thank you for sharing your journey and wisdom. Now, when she gets here and she sees all of this, I want every single one of you, as soon as she gets on the stage, and she can't hear me yet, so this is between us, okay? We're going to keep it between us. But as soon as she gets here, I want you to find an emoji so that she can see just how grateful she is. She's going to see the notes, but I also want her to see every emoji. So, okay, now do we have a deal? As soon as you see her come onto the stage, you are going to click in the reactions button in emoji so that she just sees it flooded, okay? Only when you see her. Don't do it yet. That's right. Keep adding in there the good news for her so that she can see it as soon as she gets in and all she sees is good news. Listen, it has been truly my honor to host you all every single night. I am Alicia Reese, spelled extra special because my parents knew I would be unique because I was their firstborn, spelled Alechia, last name Reese. And although, yes, I will see you later in the evening, I must tell you thank you. You all have been wonderful. You have completely changed my life. And I know Terry has changed all of ours. So before she comes, I need you to do me one more favor. One more favor. First thing I need you to do is, if you have not taken your selfie, take your selfie. And for our production team, can you actually put a bunch of the selfies back there for me on the screen? Because I want to see y'all. If you have not taken your selfie, take your selfie. I want to make sure we see them. And one of the things that I love about Terry, and I'm loving all of this good energy y'all sending her way. Last night, so many of you asked for a payment plan. And the good thing about good people is that they hear you and they listen. And I don't know if y'all know, but there is now a payment plan. So if you want to do the Stocks 101 program, you absolutely can do so. This is a life-changing gift that she has given us. So to the young lady last night who was saying that she had a portion of it but needed a little more, she needed some help, Terry said, you know what? Yes, I think I will. I think I might. And now there is a payment plan, so you have no excuses at all. You have no excuses. And they are even showing you. Do you see that? Take your selfie. You can take your selfie. We want to put it on the screen. We want to see them. See, Imani, those prayers worked. I heard you say you were playing. Okay, you were in South Africa or in Africa and there was no electricity. That's okay, because if you are a VIP member, guess what? You get all the replays. Now, I don't know what the exact payment plan is, but they're going to put the link in the chat for you so that you can go and click on it and see exactly what it is. But yes, she heard us, we asked for it, and she delivered, because that's exactly the type of person Terry is, and we are so incredibly grateful to her. So now, if you have had these selfies, I want to see all the selfies on the back. And don't forget our agreement. As soon as Terry comes on the stage, I need you to make sure you put your reaction emojis so that she is flooded with all of the good energy, the goodness, and she is going to read all of the good messages. You all are sending so much energy. I can literally feel you through the screen, and I am so excited for her. And remember the website, because I know the team is putting it in there, but the website is tradeandtravel/stocks101. So if you were looking for what that payment plan will be, you can go to that website, and the team will make sure they put it in the chats for you. Okay, I see you, selfie, and it's a little gift. Okay, y'all look good. You look good. Do y'all see how good y'all look? Oh, yes, because we are millionaire cousins. And we're going to take it from the spiritual to the natural as we learn how to trade and we've already taken our first trade, but as we are learning how to now master this thing. This has been so powerful and so amazing. And listen, as we are about to get started, don't y'all forget, Terry is about to come. You post your selfie. You make sure you go into your dashboard, and in your dashboard, you can take your selfie. And don't worry, once you submit it, we'll see it back there. We will see it back there. Hey, cuz. All right, so I am going to go ahead and we are going to start the video because I don't want to hold y'all back from learning how to now sell it. And you already know Terry's going to hip us to the game, give us some good old information because we are here with Terry Ijeoma with Trade and Travel, and we are taking our first trade. This has been a power-packed 5 days. I'm so full. I don't even think I need to eat tomorrow, y'all. I mean, I am, but still. I don't think I need to. I'm just so full. So we are going to go ahead and get the party started. Again, I thank you for rocking with me for each of these 5 days, and I cannot wait to see you later in the evening. Bye, y'all. And I was like, you know what? I'm not ready to say goodbye yet. I wasn't ready. Y'all wasn't ready either, right? Y'all wasn't ready for me to say goodbye either, right? I know. It's okay. I felt y'all's spirit. Y'all wasn't ready and I wasn't either. So no. So here's the thing. I was thinking last night, right, that when I started this week, I really was scared because I don't know it. Like, you know, it's different when you're starting out and you feel like, oh, this will be easy to learn. You know, kind of like walking. I don't know, I don't really remember it all the way. But when I decided I was gonna walk, I felt like, okay, I can eventually get this. But the older we become, the scarier new things become, right? So at the beginning of the week, I was absolutely, I don't want to say terrified because then I'm telling y'all all my business, but I was a little terrified, okay? Keep it on the low. Don't tell people, but I was absolutely terrified because this is something new for me. This is something that I didn't have any experience with. But what I can say with all certainty is I now feel empowered that, okay, this isn't as hard as, now, it's still more challenging because it's something I've never done. And like Rachel Rogers said, I'm down at the bottom where it's, incompetence? But that's okay, because eventually I'm going to get to that highest level of competence. But at the beginning of the week, I was terrified. I was fearful. I was wondering, like, can I actually do this? Yes or no? But towards the end of the week, yesterday actually, especially as Tiffany was walking us through the 4 ways in which the 2 ways to shift our mindset and the 2 ways to shift our money, I literally, something clicked and I was like, oh no, this is possible. Not only is it possible, but it is possible for me, just like it is possible for you. And in the chat, I just want y'all to write possible. I want you to write possible so that I can know that you know that we got this. Not only do we got this, but we are already activated because so many of you already got the Stocks 101 course, and now there is a payment plan. So if you couldn't get it last night, you can get it now before Saturday. Yes, possible. We got this because we are possible. Now, as I am about to leave you, do not forget what our agreement was. As soon as you see Terry come on the stage, yes, we are possible. Y'all, I will see you soon. And now we are about to get this party started.
Hey, thank you so much for this week. I appreciate you so much. I
appreciate you.
Thank
Don't
you.
She look good? I mean, it's the fit for me.
Thank you. On the last day, we gotta look like something. Hey guys, so will y'all put up the hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Oh wow, look at all these comments. I love the hearts. Oh wow. Wanda says, how do we post our selfie? After you take the selfie, it actually will direct you to, share it, so y'all can share it out, and then it'll automatically come to us. So will y'all show me, actually, since hey, y'all, welcome. I'm Terry Ijeoma, founder of Trade and Travel. I realized I never really said my name. Hope y'all knew it was me. But these are all of the people that have taken their first trade. Wow, will y'all scroll this for me? I'd love to see all of them. Wow. Look at this. I'm just taking a moment, y'all, to actually take this all in. Earlier this year or this week, you all said that you committed to yourself to show up for yourself. And this is actually proof that you actually showed up for yourself. This is proof that you fulfilled your commitment. And then another thing for our team, our goal has been to have to teach 100,000 people how to take their first trade. And so this is just the evidence of what we're working towards to help more people get invested in the stock market. So I'm gonna just take a second to just look at the wall and just take in, and you guys take in too, all of the lives that have been impacted this week, and you're a part of that. So shout out to you all, and congratulations for taking your first trade. Wonderful. Wow. This is so cool. Okay, so let's jump in. I know that we have quite a bit to cover today. Let me actually back up just a little bit so I won't be so much in your face. But do you all have my presentation up yet? Y'all know I have to talk to the background. Okay, so while they're working on it, let's go ahead and we're about to go into class as normal. We've been in the computer lab. We've been taking our first trade. Today, we're actually going to go back. We potentially might be in the computer lab, but we might be in homeroom too. But we're going to be selling our trade. So, oh, good, you see it. Wonderful. So let's first go ahead and do our disclaimer. In this place is so cool. Oh, let me switch remotes. Now we're cooking. Wonderful. So now let's do our disclaimer. I'm going to step to the side. Okay, good. You guys can see it. It says that I am not a licensed stockbroker, just a woman who knows how to make income trading stocks and options. I'm not making recommendations for you to trade. All of your decisions are completely at your own risk. All the information in this course is for educational purposes only. But I am a woman who has been trading stocks for 14. This is not on the written disclaimer. This is just me. So y'all can come back to me. But I am a woman who's been trading stocks for 14 years. I've made all the mistakes that you could possibly make. And so all of the education that I'm giving you all is out of those mistakes. I'm teaching you what I did wrong so that you can do it right. And it won't take you as long to be successful. I've had $300 days, and I've had $1 million days trading, and it's been a complete honor to serve you this week. So here we go. First, ground rules as normal. The type of people that we have are positive, they are proactive, they're persistent, and they commit to showing up. You guys just showed us from the selfie wall that you showed up and you fulfilled that commitment. So hats off and congratulations to you. And we talked about how it's bigger than us. We made our commitment every single day. We committed to ourselves, and I'm going to step to the side so y'all can see the slide. We committed to ourselves, and we came through. So now we're actually on lesson number 5. Day 1, we did a market overview. Lesson 2, we did an index overview. Lesson 3, we opened a brokerage account. Lesson 4, we bought the stock. Lesson 5, we are selling the stock today. Our objectives were simple. The first one was to invest in one share of the overall market. We did that. Yesterday, many of us invested in the S&P 500, and y'all, yeah, it went down today a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to talk about it. And today, we're going to sell the share so that you all know how to get out of a trade, whether positive or negative. You know the mechanics. We're doing that. Next, we'll do a little recap. For all of the people who might have missed a day, I'm going to do a fast recap so that you can see where we've been. We talked about the indexes. The Dow Jones is 30 companies, and this is what they look like. Then we discussed the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is the technology companies. Here are some of the companies in the NASDAQ. I'm going kind of fast. Y'all want me to go a little slower? But y'all got this. We also talked about investing in sectors, and we talked about how many sectors are divided into these categories, including energy, financials, materials, real estate, technology, etc. And then we discussed the way to invest in these buckets of companies are ETFs. An ETF is an exchange traded fund. And if you say that backward, it tells you exactly what it is. It's a fund of companies that is traded on the stock exchange, right? Exchange traded fund, ETF. And some of the ETFs that we looked at were SPDR ETFs. We found them in the sectorspiders.com website. You can find other ETFs at ETF.com. The ones that we'd invested in for the overall indexes were these: DIA, QQQ, and SPY. We also know that there's several others though, like the VOO, which is, and it also follows the indexes, but under Vanguard. Then we talked about other ETFs that followed the sectors. And here's an example of the ticker symbols of those sectors. Remember that in order to invest in a stock, you actually have to have the ticker symbol. That's the first thing you have to put in when you're placing the trade. They won't let you put in the name of the company. It takes a ticker symbol. So we talked about what the ticker symbols were for every sector. And you guys, I'm going to do a quick pop quiz. XLV is this one closest to me. You guys can kind of see that. What sector is that? XLV. Tell me in the chat. Healthcare. Good, good. Let's do another one, pop quiz. XLE, which is over here. Can y'all see it? I don't have my ruler. Let me give a ruler. Good, but I'm seeing many of you on the right track. You're saying energy. Good job. So this one up here, XLE, is what I'm pointing to. There. I feel like a weather girl. I love this place. Now, after we figured out those ticker symbols to follow the ETFs, the indexes, the ETFs of indexes, and then the ETFs of the sectors, we then went to opening our brokerage account. And we talked about several different brokerage accounts. Oh, actually, let me stop. We missed a step. We also put them into a watch list. Back up. After we found our ETFs, then we put them into a watch list in CNBC. And you guys remember these steps. We went to CNBC. Watch list is way up there at the top. And we put a watch list together of those ETFs and sectors, or indexes and sectors. It looked like this. We had our indexes up front, and then we picked a couple of the sectors. I bet you didn't realize how much work and things you were learning this week until you go through this recap and you're like, dang, I did learn all of that stuff. All the homework I did, you're right. And when you're in CNBC, the cool thing about it is you're able to then see all this information about the stock. And we even talked about how the after hours, the market still moved a little after hours. The close was the last price at the closing bell. We talked about what a chart was, not in depth, but we know that the chart tells you where the stock price has been over time. And we can even see here, well, this one isn't all the way up to date, but for us, the market had come up to all-time highs recently and then started coming back down, and that's okay. But I think this chart might not be the one from today. This one is for the Dow, the DIA. After that, now we can go back. After we created our watch list, we also talked about brokerage accounts, because you can't just trade stocks on a regular checking account or savings account. You have to go through a broker. And remember, we even talked about the history of that. It started way back when 24 men were under a tree, and they said that the only people that could trade stocks were them, and they were stockbrokers. It became the New York Stock Exchange, but you still have to be a broker to trade stocks. So in order for us to trade stocks, we go through online brokers. And some of the online brokers we liked were Fidelity. TD Ameritrade got bought by Charles Schwab, so Charles Schwab, and then E-Trade. Another one that we liked a lot for our international students were Interactive Brokers. And then we also talked about types of accounts. You could do a joint account, which is really cool, or you could do a custodial account if you wanted to open up one for your kids. That's one of the things I do really like about the E-Trade account. It was pretty easy to open a custodial account. And then we talked about simulators. If you didn't want to trade with your real money, but you wanted to trade with paper money for now, a good one to trade your simulator is TradingView. But we also noticed that E-Trade and Charles Schwab, they have their paper money through Thinkorswim, have paper money simulators as well. And then some of my students know that I've been using Trade and Travel for a while. I've been using TradeStation for a while too. So there are several other brokers that also offer simulators and paper trading. Then we came to lesson number 4, and I'll walk to the other side. Then we came to buying the stock. And that's what we did last class. Now, my aunt purposefully called me today to ask me to start with TradingView when I was talking about buying the stock today. And I have to apologize to her in advance. I'm starting with E-Trade just because that's how my slides were in order. Yet, I made sure that I zoomed in for you guys today so you'll be able to see. So you guys tell me if it's better today. Give me a few slides to show you the technology that I put in place. But I think that we're going to have a lot better viewing experience. So let's check it out. So lesson number 4, we talked about buying a stock. And I told you all that I like to open different accounts. And like this time I decided I'd open an E-Trade account for my mom. And it was actually pretty easy. Last lesson or class, we went through all the steps and it wasn't hard at all. And I made sure that you all clicked margin when you opened up your account. Remember that? Don't forget, when you open, click margin so you have that extra buying power. When you went into the E-Trade account, it looked like this. And then we decided that, okay, once you get inside, you need to actually go to trading. So when you click into trading, and it's kind of at the top there, I haven't got to the zoomed in part, I promise it's coming. But when you clicked into trading, you got this platform that showed you kind of a complete overview of everything. And I reminded you that there's a section on the side that says quick trade, and you do buy market. Never ever touch that. We're going to actually press the button at the top that says trade. It's right there. I know this is small on your computer. I haven't zoomed in yet. But at the top, there's a button that says trade, and it actually will let you put in the exact things you want to trade. So let's go into that. So this is here. Here we go. Zoom is coming. Zoom is coming. So when you press trade, you get this platform, or you get this like open window here. Here's the zoom. Bam! Is that so much better? Can y'all see now? Whew. Yes, I worked on that all day. And it's going to get even better. Watch. Okay, because I know like right now it's a little off the screen for y'all. Can y'all zoom out a little bit so they can see a little more of the screen, or is that the most that we can see? Yes. Yeah. We can see. We have vision. We can see. So this is what it looks like when you're placing the trade. And this is through E-Trade. I'm going to show you again in TradingView, but we can walk through the parts here. Oh my gosh, I'm excited for all of us. Me, you, everybody. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to look at is actually up here in the corner when you're placing your trade, and it's going to get better. Watch, it's going to get better. So up here in the corner, when you're placing your trade, you have to put in the ticker symbol. And I'm going to zoom in now so you can see that even more. Woo, look at that. Look at that. Hey, Sandra, did I do good? I can see my Annie in the good. Okay, she's putting up her thumbs up. Okay, good. So the first thing that you have to enter at the top of that box is the ticker symbol. So this is where I see you guys. You're like, yay. Stressed the poor woman out yesterday. I got you, Jill. I got you. So the first thing that you put in is the ticker symbol, and you'll put it in that top box right underneath the little top bar. You're going to put in the ticker symbol. This is where you could put SPY if you were doing the S&P 500, or you could put in DIA if you wanted to invest in the Dow, or QQQ. And again, all of these are just ETFs that I like. You all can put in other stocks and things. All of this is just me teaching you how to do it, okay? So yesterday, though, we put in SPY. Then the next thing we went to was the action. This button right here, you have to put buy or sell. And here, I'll come on this side so y'all can see me a little better. I'm so excited this is zoomed in. Y'all can see. So the next thing is action. Because you all are beginners and you're just starting to learn how to invest, most likely you're going to be buying to open a trade. When we think about trading, you have to open a trade and close a trade. And then to open a trade, you could either buy to open or sell to open. We are going to be buying. They call that going long because our goal is we're buying, trying to buy low, and then sell higher. That's going long. If we were selling first and trying to let it come down, they would call that short because we're trying to make money on the way down. But because, like I said, we're beginners, this action for us always has to say buy to enter, okay? The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change our quantity. So right now, it automatically says 100 for quantity, but we want to change it to 1 because goal of this class was to take your first trade, buy your share, first stock, and then sell it. So we're going to change this to 1. Somebody asked me yesterday, Terry, how do I choose the quantity size? In the bigger Stocks 101 class that you all have access to, we would use risk management to decide this number. So instead of just saying an arbitrary, well, I have $2,000 and I can afford 4 shares, we would actually say, well, what's the amount that you have potentially to lose? And then we would base our quantity size based on how much you could lose. So maybe instead of doing 4, you do 2. But there's some calculations we can do for that. But for us today, we just said we'll change our quantity size to 1. Okay? I'm so proud of myself. The way it's zooming, your girl is bad. Everybody's been talking about the MIT is coming out. Your girl is bad. So then after you do quantity size, now we have to go down to the order type. And in E-Trade, it says price type, but these are the types of trades that you can get, or that types of orders that you can put in. Let me zoom in for you there too. I got you. I told you I got you. So when we do in here, actually, let me come on this side. Y'all can tell I'm just so excited. I love, just so y'all know me better, I love problem solving. I love teaching, but trying to figure out what's the best way to make this simple for you all. So I thought through, okay, I want to show them all the steps of this. How can we make sure they see it? And then we actually used a whole nother platform to show you how to do this. So that's the fun part for me. Can you see? Good. So these are the order types that we have available to us when we're placing our trade. First is limit. Limit is the one where I told you we put in the price. As the buyer, we're always going to want to buy lower than the seller is asking for. And remember I told you bid and ask? We're bidding what we want to pay. And it's always lower than what the seller is asking. So we want to make sure that we're able to set our price. Limit orders allow you to set your price. The other order type, market, is going to give us whatever the most recent price is in the market. So if the seller is asking for a really high price and we put in market, they're just going to give them whatever they're asking for, which oftentimes is much higher than we really want to pay. Okay? So instead of doing market, I want you to do limit. And will y'all show them this full screen so that they can see it? There we go. Can y'all see that now? Angela's like, yes. So let me walk you through one more time now that this is full screen. The limit order type is the one that we like here. It's the second one down, and the one at the top, it's the one that you can set your price. The market is where they're going to give you whatever price comes up first, and that's not usually the best price. And then let's also talk about one more order type here. Stop on quote. Stop on quote, and oftentimes they say stop loss or stop market order. That means that we can say where we want to protect ourselves. And if the stock price comes down to that level, it'll take us out of the trade. I'll show you more about that today when we talk about selling a stock, because that's a way that you sell. So the two orders you're looking at when you're buying are limit and market, but we like to do limit orders. You got it? Put a yes. Well, we had a lot of yeses. Put money in the chat if you got it. Thank you, Belinda. Belinda was first one, money. Nice. Got it, money. Good. Shmoney. Hey, Schmilly's in the house. Shmoney. All right. Great. Now let's keep going. So now that you know what order type to put in, we'll go back big. After you put in your order, so that's here, you have to say what price. So yesterday we chose a price that was a little bit below the last price. So the last price at that time was 503. We put in like 502.73. And actually, if y'all remember, I showed you, I was looking at a chart and I said, you know what, my chart says that it actually can come down a little lower than this. So I'm going to put in a limit order at, I think we had like 498 and 36 cents or something like that. So looking at charts and doing some other work, which is in Stocks 101, you can dictate your price. But we said for now, just a little lower than what the sellers are asking for, because we think we can get it. And sure enough, did you guys do your trade today? Did you get lower prices? Did you get in at a lower price? Crystal said she did. Oh, some of y'all were scared. We're going to have to talk about it. So let's keep going, though. So after you put in your price, you don't have to worry about automation. Leave that alone. It'll say automation, leave that alone. The next thing you want to talk about is duration. So let's zoom in there. And y'all can go full screen for me here so that they can read the words. Thank you. So the first thing is day, good for the day. What that means is that, and y'all might, if y'all have a mouse, I don't know if you have a mouse that you can do, so that's okay. But the day one, good for the day, means if I put the order in today and it's not executed by the time the stock market closes today, it'll just go away out of the system. So it only is good for the day. So for example, y'all can come back to me. For example, let me wait. Y'all go ahead and come back to me. Thank you. So for example, if I'm taking a trade, when I was assistant principal of the elementary school, if I took a trade in the morning and for whatever reason, by the end of the day, sometimes I'd be busy and the market would close and I didn't get a chance to check on if the stock had, if the trade had been executed, then I come back at the end of the day and it hadn't been executed, then that trade would just go away that day. It only lasts for a day. That's what it means when it says duration day. If you put in a trade and say I put a limit order in and it's not hit or executed, then it'll go away. However, if I put in an order and I wanted to just sit in the computer until it's hit, then I would do GTC. And y'all can now go full screen again. GTC is good until canceled. This order type will sit in the computer for 60 days. This is, oh great, you have a mouse. This is the one that I would use if I was putting in an order after hours and I wanted it to execute in the morning. And the reason I'm saying execute instead of just like I get into the stock is because, you know, that's the technical word. If you get it, if your trade is executed, that means it's filled. So if the trade is filled or executed during the day, then they'll say, okay, good, it's done. But if it's not, it'll just sit in the computer until the stock price hits it. Okay? So that's GTC, good till canceled. For us, after hours last night, we did a GTC because the market is closed. It won't let you do a day order after hours. But if you put in GTC and then in the morning, it would try to execute that trade. For us, another thing is because we had a limit order in, the next morning, the stock market actually opened up lower, it'll try to get you a price at your limit or better. So it should have actually gotten in a little lower than what we had put in after hours. But I will say, when you're working with indexes, and y'all saw this today, the stock market moves a lot overnight. So it may be better, if possible, for you to wait, look at the market before the stock market opens. It's called pre-market. See where the stock price is, and then put your trade in for the indexes. Okay? There's some stocks that don't move a lot overnight, and you can put in a good till canceled and just let it run in the morning. But for the indexes like the S&P and the Dow, it's good to look at those in the morning and then put in the trade, if possible. Okay? Next. I like somebody said enjoying this. Okay, the next thing that we discussed yesterday in our lesson number 4 was paper trading and margin. So I want to just point this out for you, and y'all can go to full screen for them again so they can see it. In E-Trade, if you had this yellow thing on the top, that meant that you were paper trading. I want you all to just always make sure whatever brokerage account you're in, if you want to trade in the simulator, make sure you double check before you take your trade that you're trading in the simulator. I have made the mistake, and many of my students have made the mistake, where we thought we were in our simulator and we actually took a trade in our real account. So just double check that you're in the right account. And then the other thing, if y'all have the mouse again, do you see where it says account value at the top? 100,000 account value. And then right next to it, it says 200,000 buying power. The reason why you have more buying power than your account value is because we had checked margin when we opened the account. It appears that in E-Trade, they let you trade with 2 times your cash amount if you have a margin account. So that's, I mean, it's kind of cool. We acknowledged that yesterday, that even if we don't use the extra money, it's nice to know that it's there because we have a margin account. So that's the steps to placing the trade. Any questions real quick before I keep going? Because today we're talking about selling. Oh, wow. So Christopher says, Terry, I just found paper trade on Fidelity. So Fidelity does have paper trading. Okay. So then I was right yesterday. I said that all of them had paper trading. That's really great to know. If anyone is in Fidelity, we just found out from one of our other family members that they do have paper trading. Cool. And then Chemo says, do you only use good till canceled after hours? No. If I want a trade to just sit in the computer for a while, I can use good till canceled even during the day. But just know that it'll sit there. Do you remember when I told you that if I thought the S&P was going to come down, or SPY would come down to $450, I could put that in the computer and just let it go? That's the type of thing that we would use good till canceled for. Just let that sit in the computer for a while, and if it ever does come down to $450, then you would get into the trade. All right, let's keep going. Uh-oh. We're doing so good. Okay. Yeah. All right, that's the margin. So that's the button that we checked so that we could get that buying power. Let me move over so y'all can see it. So just to recap, in lesson number 4, we went over ticker symbol, quantity, order type, and duration. Those were the things that we covered when we were putting in our trade. Now let's talk about selling the stock. And just for fun, these people here are part of our $10,000 in a day club. So we had a live conference, and all of the people here, good catch for me. All of the people here that had on the gold lanyards, they had made $10,000 in a day trading stocks after being in the trade and travel program. And you all see Mariah, y'all saw her yesterday. Y'all see her right in the front. She's part of the $10,000 in a day club. So now today's lesson, we're going to discuss realized versus unrealized, stop losses, and day versus swing. And we're selling our stock, yes. So let's do a little reveal of how the market did today. So we bought a stock yesterday, and then this is what happened to the indexes. The Dow went up. So, of course, we didn't choose that one. That was the one that would have been great today, but dang. That's okay. And then the SPY went down a little bit. Now, here's the thing. Somebody was probably thinking to yourself, oh my God, it went down. So the S&P went down 43 points. That means that this is our watch list down here. That means that our ETF went down $4.36. So I think, y'all, tell me the truth actually. How many people were really worried today because your stock went down $4? Raise your hands. No? Okay. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. And who is that? Chalavia, did I say that right? Rose. Oh, he's like, no. Or she's like, no. I was like trying to squint to see the names. Most of you guys were okay. And I'm so proud of you for those that are okay. You know that the stock market moves up and down. And you know that on average, these indexes move about 8 to 10% a year. So that means that in one day, if we see it come down a little bit, we don't have to panic. We can actually breathe and it's okay. And I'm going to give you a little teaser. Let me see if it'll go there. I actually made money today when it went down. There are ways, we talked about in the Stocks 101, there's short selling. There are ways that you can actually make money when a stock goes down. So I had put this in. And you can see over here that this is an options trade though, so be careful. But you can see over here that this position actually went up 12% when the stocks fell today. And then this position went up 41% when the stocks fell today. So as a trader, we don't actually have to worry when the market goes down. We just need to know the skill set to take advantage of any situation. So for me, I'm like, okay, cool. So it's going down today. Let's make some money. If it was going up today, let's make some money. That, like, either way is okay. So our positioning is we breathe, and then we assess how to best execute the trade. Okay? But for you all, as beginners and as portfolio managers, I want you to also know that you can breathe. Like, okay, I got in yesterday, it went down a little bit, that's okay. What we will do, though, is when you're in the Stocks 101 class, we'll talk to you about how to protect your risk. So there will be a place where, hey, if it goes down to here, I'm going to get out of the trade because I'm only willing to lose this much money. But until it does that, I'm going to let it run and then just allow it to move down or up until I reach my goals. Okay, so that's how we think about it. Anybody can breathe better, a little better now? I'm seeing some nods. Okay, thank you, Alicia. Telling the truth. Yes. Miss Ann's like, I had to put my glasses on. Yes. You can breathe. Honestly, so when the market comes down, I'm so excited because it gives me a chance to get more of positions or to just reposition. So, for example, I know we use the word position a lot in investing, but for example, I really wanted to get into the S&P 500. And the fact that it came down today gave me an even better entry to get in. I wasn't sad that some of the current positions went down. I was more excited about the fact that, oh, good. Instead of paying $500, now I only have to pay $495. So we're happy when it comes down. One other thing that I do want to say in this is you've got to learn, when you do start investing, you've got to learn to flip the script. When everybody is saying negative things about a stock, that's probably the time that we should be buying because our goal is to try to buy good companies when they're inexpensive. I'm thinking right now about Tesla stock. Tesla has been going like cratering down. It's down to places where it hasn't been in years. This honestly would be a better, as a trader, I'm just telling you my mindset, this would be a better place to buy it. And especially if I was thinking about holding it for the long run, then when it was at all-time highs and everybody was happy about it. Right now where they're not sure if they're going to have a car and there's like questions about the Cybertruck, that's actually a good time to be an investor because you get a discount in a sale, and when the what do they say, when the script flips, then you'll have it at a low price and then it'll start rising again. So we have to learn how to think differently. We want to buy when things are low. That's going to be when all the bad news is there, when everybody's saying something negative. And then we want to sell when things are high. That's when people are going to be so positive and rah, 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 and oh, the market is running. That's when you're selling and taking your profit. Okay? That's the trader mindset. Let's keep going. Talked about my trade. So now we're selling. Let's discuss real quick what it means to be a day trader versus a swing trader. Because we took the trade yesterday and then are getting out today, that means that we're keeping it overnight. We're a swing trader. If we had gotten out, so say, for example, we got into this trade in the morning, and then before the market closed, we sold it, that would be a day trade. So a day trade, they trade intraday, which means within 1 day of the stock market being open, they buy and sell a stock. Because many times for us, we're going to be buying on 1 day and then selling maybe the next day or a week or a couple weeks later, we're more so swing traders. Anything that is days, weeks, months is a swing trader. And then if you hold it over a year, that's when they start considering you as a long-term investor. That makes sense? So real quick pop quiz. And can y'all switch up okay, good. Y'all, I was about to ask for you to switch up. Hey, I'm so glad to see you, Sherelle. I see you, hey. That's my friend from MIT, y'all. So, now I got confused. Oh, the pop quiz. So the pop quiz, I want you guys to tell me if I was investing in a stock and I sold it on in 2 months from now, tell me what type of trade is that? Day, swing, or long? Great. Uh-oh. I'm seeing mostly swing, some long. So that's a swing trade because I said a couple months from now. A long-term trade would be if it was over a year. Another quiz real quick. On Monday, I wake up, I get into a trade Monday morning, and then it starts moving, and I'm so excited. I sell it before the market closes on Monday. What type of trade? Wonderful. You guys are killing it. Good job. And both of those are right. I saw somebody say intraday and someone say day. Yes, both of those are correct. You did an intraday trade and you're a day trade. You could consider that a day trader. Now, here's something that I actually despise. I despise people putting me into boxes. I'll go on a show or a podcast and they'll say, Terry is a day trader. She teaches you how to day trade. Don't put me in a box. I'm a day trader and a swing trader. I'm just a trader. I look at the chart to see what the best opportunity is. If it says that I need to get out in a day, I'll do that. If it says that I need to hold the stock a little longer, I'll do that too. So I'm just an active investor. I'm a trader. And now you guys are learning how to do that too. So tell them, don't put me in a box. I am just an active investor. I'm actively investing for income. Okay. Next. Here are the steps to take the trade. We already know that. You have to, are y'all looking at the right one? Let me come on this side. You have to enter a brokerage account, then put in your ticker symbol, open the trading screen, set up the trade, press buy, wait, and then you're going to press sell. Let's talk about setting up the trade to press sell. Now we're going to go to TradingView, Amy. I know you're going to be happy about this. Now we're going to go into TradingView and talk about setting this up to sell. This is TradingView. For those how many of you guys opened up a TradingView account yesterday so that you can trade with paper money? Lots of you. And just FYI, I heard that you all can only see 500 people in your Zoom rooms. There are literally like a ton of Zoom rooms, and a ton of people on this call, like thousands, are in this program. Like I'm actually looking at the numbers now. I'm like, yep. Shout out to y'all for being consistent too. Y'all showed up every day. I'm so proud of you. Good. April said 353 in this room, literally looking at thousands in the actual overall thing. So it's pretty cool. All right, so now let's go big. I'm zooming in for you. So this is the overall like setup. There were the stock chart here. I actually bought a share of the S&P today. I bought it at $4.95. So right now the S&P had come up a couple cents, and so or SPY, I'm talking about the ETF of the S&P, but SPY had come up a couple cents, and so it's showing us here that I'm actually in the green. If you had placed a trade up here a little bit, it may show that you're a little bit in the red, but that's okay. Like we said, this one usually will turn back around, so even if it starts falling to down here, just give it some time. The indexes you tend to kind of hold in your account for a while. It'll come up often. I can't say it definitively, but over the last 20 years, the market's come up. So you'll be okay on that one. Other things to show you down here. I'm about to zoom in, don't worry. Down here at the bottom of the screen is where it showed my position, and it tells me that it was filled. It tells me what price that I got the stock for. So down here, for example, y'all aren't seeing it here. Can you show it to them big on the screen? Y'all see at the bottom there, it says paper trading, and then it says account, and then it says like my one position there. Thank you. Yep, paper trading, and then positions 3, and then go down a little bit more. Oh, I think it's got to go up. There we go. It'll say that we did a long trade because we were buying, expecting it to go up. And then the fill price was $4.95. The last price was $4.95 and 16 cents. So that area just tells you your position. And then y'all can come back to me for a second. And then down here, I press trade. And this is how we're going to sell our stock. So we press trade. Thank you. Y'all see the little mouse? Maybe make it go big for them for a second so that they can see the mouse. Right there, that's the button to press trade. So that's what you press in order to start selling that share. When you press trade, this thing on the side comes up. Y'all can come back to me. This thing on the side comes up. And now we're going to go through the steps to sell. So we'll come in big. Oh, hold on. Is it out of order? There we go. So the first thing is we have to tell it the action. Remember in the beginning I told you that you have to decide if you are opening this trade by selling or opening this trade by buying. Before, when we were getting into the trade, we were opening it by buying because we wanted to buy a share of the SPY and then hold it, right? So we were on the buy side. Now, though, if I wanted to sell this, I'd have to click over to sell. So the first step when you're selling your stock is you need to switch your action to sell, okay? The next thing is you have to look at your order type. Oh, sorry, it's going the wrong way for me. So we press sell. I just love that this was so cool. You press sell. Then you're going to come down and say what type of order you want. The market order is the one we said is a no-go. And even as a seller, it's still a no-go. Now, if the market is moving super fast and you just want to get out and you start panicking, then okay, press market. I still don't want you to do that, though. I'd rather you press limit, because if the market is falling, you're still not going to get the best price by pressing market. It's just going to give you whatever it says. You want to dictate what you're actually going to sell for. So you're going to sell at a limit order, okay? Then you go down to your price. Here, put in the price, and then also put in the units. Your unit needs to match the number of units that you own. So make sure that you check, okay, I own 1 share of SPY, so I'm going to now sell one share of it here. And then once you do that, this will change to sell, because you changed it to sell up here, and you can press sell. And then it'll put an order into the computer for you. Okay? Another thing, though, that I want to discuss is the protection. So say, for example, we don't want to sell yet today. Like, we have our SPY, it came down a little bit, but we're not worried about that. We want to let it go for a little while, but we do want to put some protection in here for ourselves. Let me walk you through how to do that. Instead of pressing limit, and here we'll zoom in again. We're still going to press sell. You have the position already. You're just adding protection. You're trying to tell it, I want you to sell if this comes down. So you'll change it to sell. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. But this time, instead of pressing limit, you're going to press stop. Okay? And you're going to be doing a stop market order. Now, there's oftentimes in the different brokerages, there's an option between stop market and stop limit. When we're thinking about protection, now this is a time where I don't care what price you get me out, but if it comes down to here, I want you to get me out as quickly as possible. I don't want it to malfunction and try to reach a limit price and think too hard. No, if it's coming down and I want to get out, get me out. So that's why I often do stop market orders. And for TradingView, I think they might call it something different like stop on quote, or I think E-Trade called it stop on quote. You just want to get a stop, it's called a stop loss. You want to put a stop loss in, and for me, I usually choose stop market, okay? So you put in your stop, and then you do the same thing. It's going to change a little bit, but you're going to tell it. I'm a little worried that it's going to go to the wrong place. Let's see. You're going to have to tell it a price for your stop as well. So, for example, if we were picking an arbitrary number, then we might say, okay, if it comes down $10 from here, then get me out. Oftentimes, though, I don't want you to put your stop that close. Like, give it some room to run. The SPY, we saw that the average true range of it is about $5 to $6 a day. So you don't want to have your stop too close. It'll just take you out of the trade. Then you'll start getting afraid, and you can tell I'm telling you this from experience and from students. Then once you start getting out of stops, or we call that stopped out, then you'll be afraid to put it in because you'll be like, no, every time I have a stop, it hits the stop and then starts running up. No, that's probably because you've been putting your stops too close out of fear. Give yourself some room to let that trade turn around and go up. But I will say another thing, and this is for all my people who've been trading for a while, try not to move your stop. When you put in the trade, you have a stop in mind already. So you've already decided when you put in the trade, okay, I'm putting in a trade here, and then I'm putting some protection here. You've thought through that. When you come back and it's not doing what you want to do, you're now going to start acting out of desperation. You're going to start acting out of just all the emotions. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm losing some money. What do? Let me get out. And then you're going to try to move your stop instead of just getting out of it where you said you were. So, pro tip. Don't move your stop. Once you've decided where you want it to go and how much protection that you want on the trade, if the stock starts coming down and is about to hit it, let it hit it. That's what it was there for. It's like a, what do they call it? The net for a trampoline or for the trapeze artist. That net is there to protect them if they fall. You don't want to keep moving the net. No, it's there for a reason. Okay, we'll keep going. So you put in your price for your protection. You still need to put the same number of units. Go forward. Oh, okay. You still need to put in the same number of units, and then you would press sell again. Okay? So that is how you actually exit the trade. And we're doing better on time. The other days I was going super over. Are we going now? So now while they're fixing the background for me, what questions do you have here on selling? Yep, Ingrid said fear of missing out. Okay, so Bridget said, I'm in TradingView and I can't find the stock I purchased yesterday. So it would be on this, thank you guys, on this screen, it would be down here at the bottom. And if you don't see anything down here at the bottom, hover your mouse over this line and you can pull it up. Not right now because this is a static image, but if we were on the computer, you could, yes, where the mouse is, you could hover over that line and pull it up, and then you would see your positions down here at the bottom. And if you don't see anything, there's a possibility that maybe you didn't get into the position last night. Last night, the market was closed, so it would have had to execute this morning. So there's a chance that you didn't get into the position. Okay, let me see if there's any other. Would be great if you could do a quick do-over. How do I determine the price for the stop? Okay. Ebony, we determine the price for the stop using charts. But for now, if you can just pick an arbitrary price. How do I put in a limit order and then a stop order? I'm confused about the process. Kimberly, you would put in a limit order first. You'd have to get that position filled. So the stock would actually have to come to your price. Now you're in the position. Once you're in the position, you can add a stop. There is a way to do a bracket order, but that's more advanced in our class this week. Okay, Alicia said my order didn't execute. One reason why your order may not have executed is if you put your duration as day last night, then today, like last night you put it in as a day duration, then today you wouldn't have that position in anymore for it to execute. Okay, Regina says, I don't understand the stop. Okay, the stop is just a protection layer for you. So once you're in the position, so say for example, I'm in the position now, and you guys can't see this, so can y'all make that big for them? At the bottom there, it says, the very bottom of the page, it says positions, and then it says AMX SPY. That's the position that I'm in right now. Once I'm in a position, I can now go add a stop to protect myself. So after you're in the position, you can come up to sell, to the order, like say trade. Then with the mouse, will y'all go over to the order bar again? Excuse me. Can y'all move the mouse? Okay, great. Go over to the order bar to the right. You would press sell. And then your order type would be stop. So you'd come over, press stop to the right, go down and to the right, press stop. Then you would put in a price that was lower than your current price. Maybe in this case, you'd give yourself $10. If it comes down $10, then I'm going to get out of the trade. So maybe at $4.85, you'd put in your stop. And then at the bottom, it would now say sell. Now, I will say, TradingView also has this stop loss section on the side. If you're in it and following along with me, you could also use that. So with the mouse, can you come back to our little order bar section? Is the mouse still there? There we go. Come back to the order bar right underneath units. Yep, to the right of this. Stop loss. You could also click there if you were placing a trade and then wanted to add a stop loss at the same time. But because you all are beginners, I think you should just do it one at a time. So you would just press stop, put in a price, and then at the bottom, the button would change from buy, down, down. The button would change from buy to sell. And all of these things, it's a paper money platform. So just click some buttons and play with it. Like now that you've heard what you should do for me, and especially our VIPs, you can re-listen to this. Play with it. Go in, click some buttons. You won't break it. Oftentimes, and y'all can come back to me. Thank you. Oftentimes, I think we are so afraid of breaking something or doing something wrong that we don't even try. So I want to encourage you to try. You are not going to break their computer. You're not going to break their system by pressing buttons. And in here, you're trading with paper money. So do the thing. If you want to try what happens when you put in 100 shares, go for it. Even though you know that you won't be able to afford that yourself just yet, put it in. See what happens. If you want to practice selling something first, practice. Do it like once you get into your shares, try these stops and put in some protection. Just see what happens. A lot of this is going to come from just learning and doing repetition and putting in the work. Sometimes, and I'm saying this for myself, for all the people that I know that were on this stage this week, we can really hold ourselves back because we're too afraid to try. And so I want to make sure that's not you. This platform will not break. Press all the buttons and just see what happens. Okay? Okay. Beatrice is like, yes, okay. Perfect. So now keep going. So Alicia says, is there a lag between when you open a TradingView account and when you do a paper trade? I don't see the paper trading tab in the bottom in the panel at the bottom. No, scroll down and there might be a couple buttons to press. Like in this, we may have to go big again, but in this section, at first it may not say paper trading. At first it might just say trade. Scroll down and it'll ask you what broker you want to connect TradingView to. And then one of those boxes on the left-hand side is going to say paper trade instead of connecting it to a broker. So press some buttons down there, and then you'll see, oh, okay, here's the button that says paper trade. Okay. Let's keep going. You're going to see this go through for a second, and then we'll go back to my slides. Here we go. Another platform for this is TradeStation. And this might be a little tough for you to see back here, so will y'all show that to them big? This is what potentially the platform may look like on your computer, or excuse me, on your cell phone when you're trading. I love trading on my phone. But do you all see on here, and if we have the mouse, we can show them again. At the top of on the third, you're right on the third phone. At the top, we had invested in DIA. And if we wanted to sell this, we would come down to actions, come down a little bit. Instead of buy, we would click that to sell. Your account number would be what it is. You go down to quantity size, you would change that to 1. Then you go down to order type. Instead of price type, this platform says order type. You keep that at limit because we want to dictate where we're selling. The limit price, we go down. We put in what the limit price is. For us, I often put a little lower than the current price, but it does give you some examples. The bid is going to be what other people are wanting to buy this stock for, and the ask is what the sellers are asking to sell it for. And you'll notice that the person with the mouse, can y'all show them those two little buttons, or two in the squares? Yeah. The bid is often lower than the ask. There we go. And then you go down a little further, and then you go to duration. If you were putting this trade in overnight, you would change that to GTC, for good till canceled. If you were doing it during the day, then you keep it at day. If you have a trade in that says day duration, and it's not filled during the day, it will go out of the system, out of the computer. You'd have to re-enter it the next day. And then you'd go down to press the button at the bottom, that blue button that says buy order. It would change to red if you were selling, and you would press that to sell. Y'all got it? We're going to do it one more time with a different platform. This is what the platform looks like on your cell phone for Thinkorswim. So right now it says Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade, but this platform has been bought by Charles Schwab. So on your phone, it'll look something like this. It might have changed a little bit, but it may look something like this. And remember I told you, sometimes you choose a broker based on which platform you like. If there's one that you feel like you can understand better, then go for that one. Here, let's do the steps again. This time we'll go through as a buyer. So, Zephyr, would you mind going to the top of this screen? Perfect. So on this one, this was another one that we had the DIA for the Dow, and these prices may not be the same as current prices. They're just an example. But you would go down, you see the current price or the last price of that big number, the 330. Then next to it, you have sell and buy. That's the bid and the ask. So that's what people are wanting to buy it for. Even though it says sell at the top, it says bid underneath. So that's what people are wanting to buy it for. You always know because it's the lower number. And then the sellers, they want to sell for the higher number. So underneath that it says ask. That's what they're asking for. Now we go down a little bit and we see DIA. Now it's asking us, yes, that's a ticker symbol that we would put in. And then down below it, it says sell or buy. That's the action. On this one, let's pretend we were buying. So we would say we're buying our stock. Then we would go over to the right-hand side where it says limit. On this platform, you have to push those arrows to get to a different order type. But good for us, we want a limit order. So we would keep it at limit. We'd come down a little bit to our quantity size. And for us, we just wanted 1 share of the DIA. So we'd put in 1. And then we'd come down a little bit and we'd put in the price. We'd put in the price that we want to buy this for. And you'll notice that the price in here is a little lower than the last price because we always want to get in a little bit at a better price. And then we would go down to the bottom. It would tell us to review once we put all this in. Oh, yeah, duration. Forgot, sorry. We'd go down, put in our duration. For us, since it's after hours, if we were to put this in, we'd put GTC, good till canceled. That'll let this sit in the computer for up to 60 days. And if we didn't, we can say, actually, I don't want to put this in until Monday, so you'd need to wait until Monday and then put this in as a day trade. And remember, that button is not really saying that you want to do this as a day trade. It's just saying that I want this order to stay in the computer for a day. And after the end of the day, take the order away if it hasn't been filled. And then you would go down and you don't have to worry about any of the rest of that. And then you would go and press OK. Those buttons would change and it would show you a review of your order and then you would get in. Okay. All right. Some of you guys, like I just saw, y'all can come back to me here. Some of you all are, I see the cursor. Yes, Terry's focused on selling from your phone. Yep. Logo is blue now. Thank you, Ryan. They changed the color of the logo. And I see on here, like Miss Kelly was saying that she's lost. Don't forget that we have a whole course that is Stocks 101. If anybody feels like they're still lost, this takes time. We have been rushing and teaching you guys in five days something that could take, several weeks or more. So take your time, rewatch the information, or we do have the Stocks 101 course available, and it has 8 weeks of helping you to become a better trader and investor in stocks. How many people are already in the class? I saw a lot of you guys had already got in Stocks 101. Hey, Genevieve. Hey, Florence. Good job. Yvonne. Wonderful. And remember that in Stocks 101, so you guys just got some of class number 1 this week, and we have all these other classes, and they're the same classes that are in Trade and Travel 2.0, but just the ones that pertain to stocks only. In 2.0, that it also has support group and live coaching calls and options trading. You don't get any of those, just the ones that pertain to stocks so that you all can take your next step. I want to make sure that you go to the next level in your stock investing. All right. Any questions that you all have for me? You all have now completed the Take Your First Trade challenge. For 5 days, you've gotten 5 different lessons. We've covered the market overview, indexes, and can y'all see this? No. There we go. You've covered the market overview, indexes, opening a brokerage account, buying the stock, and selling the stock. And I am so, so proud of you. Give yourself a round of applause. You did it. Well, thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. Once again, my name is Terry Gioma. I'm the founder of Trade and Travel. I look forward to seeing you all in Stocks 101. And yeah, thank you for spending this time with me this week. We will have Darnyelle come up now for the VIP session, and then I'll see you all after this for our Q&A and interview. Talk to you guys later. Thank you again.
Ooh, how are y'all feeling? How you feeling? I want you to put it in the chat so I can know exactly how you feeling. Yes. Okay, I see y'all gonna see her in the Stocks 101 class. Yes, feeling great. People want to fish. Thank you for teaching us how to fish. I learned something today. Yes, Beatrice, you feeling educated. Ooh, me too. Overwhelmed, but that's okay. You know why? We are going to be patient with ourselves. We're going to give ourselves grace because we are learning something new. Loved this entire week. Yes. Ooh, you're feeling wealthy. Okay, on your way to become wealthy, feeling good, scared but good. That's okay. Remember, we are doing it afraid. I am super excited for our speaker tonight. Listening to her before we even started the evening, it was like my mind was being blown, like in great ways. It was so activated. So if you don't have a pen and paper handy, I need you to make sure you have that. Get your pen, get your paper, open your heart. If you do not have your camera on, remember, we love seeing your faces. It helps us to pull the energy from you. Listen, Dr. Darnyelle, the way she puts things together and helps all of us get the understanding, I already know you're about to get real delivered, okay? Not only is she a best-selling author, but she is going to show you how to make the move to millions. I will not keep you from her and her brilliance. I want to introduce to some and reintroduce to others, Dr. Darnyelle Jarvie Harmon.
Hey, yes. How y'all doing? Oh, y'all look so good. I have so much I want to say. Has this not been amazing? Tell me how amazing on a scale from 1 to 10 in the chat. 1 is I could have had a V8. Some of y'all will catch it. 10 is, oh my gosh, I just got my whole life. Tell me now. Okay, I see 10s. I see 100, 1,000, 10,000, a million. I think that might be a billion. Yo, I have had a blast. I have been in the challenge with you, learning how to take my first trade. Now I have a confession to make. I did not actually take my first trade yesterday because yesterday I had to pack and get in the bed so I could come here and be with all of you today. But I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what God has given me to share with you because this is just the beginning. Put beginning in the chat for me. And if it's okay, just before I get started, I want to just take a quick moment and just cover the room in prayer. Is that okay? Is that all right? If that's all right, okay, good. Lord God, we just come before you first and foremost just to say thank you. God, I thank you for using Terry to shift generational curses, God. I thank you for the promises that you have made in your word to do exceeding and abundant above all they could ever ask of, think, or imagine, according to the power that is at work within them. And God, I thank you for using Terry and Anthony and Robert and Rachel and Tiffany and me to support and undergird who you created them to be before they were formed in their mother's womb. God, I ask that you would use me. Use me to speak what it is that they need to hear so that they can continue to move from taking this first trade to taking the world by storm and creating financial legacy as they move millions. In the mighty, matchless name of Jesus, I pray these and all things in Jesus' name. And if you with me, say amen in the chat. Y'all look, I'm just looking at myself real quick in the mirror. I look good. Now, let me just tell y'all something. This don't got nothing to do with nothing. But your girl done lost 26 pounds. Yeah, y'all can celebrate me. Because I've been working hard. Yes, I have been working so hard. And I made a decision. I turned 48 on November the 16th. I know I don't look like what I've been through. I turned 48. And I decided in that moment, at that time, that whatever I have left, I want to make sure that if I'm selling the dream, I don't look like a nightmare to myself. And so I made a decision. Everybody say decide in the chat. I made a decision to make some changes, just like you made a decision to be right here over these last 5 days. I mean, it's Friday night. Some of y'all could be at the club. Y'all still go to the club. I'm not judging. You could be at the club right now, but you are here learning how to take your first trade, learning how to make this money move, and I'm excited to be with you. So I just want to take a quick moment and introduce myself for those of you who don't know who I am. I'm hitting the button, but I don't think that, oh, there we go. So if you haven't already figured it out, I am an unapologetic God girl. I do not apologize for the fact that the God that lives on the inside of me has created me today to be a multi-millionaire. Now, I come from two drug addicted turned crack addicted parents, born in the projects of Wilmington, Delaware. I don't think we had a pot or a window when it was all said and done. And I remember being very little and making a decision that I was going to be wealthy one day. I didn't say I was going to be rich. I said I was going to be wealthy because there's a difference. For me, it's not just about the money. Because once you have the car, you have the shoes, you're living in the house, you take the vacations, you fly first class, there's gotta be more to life than that. Can I get an amen? And because of that, I also wanted to be a philanthropist. I wanted to be able to give money away. Last year, I gave away $350,000, and my goal this year is to give away $1 million. Now, the only way that I can give money away is if I recognize and change the way I see myself, the way I see money, and the way that I see the God that I serve. And so my time with you tonight is to really talk about the important shifts that I want you to make. We've thrown a lot at you this week. We've shared with you about trading stocks. And for some of you, although it's money that's exchanging hands, it's not going to feel like it because if you're paper trading, as an example, you haven't actually exchanged your currency, right? You haven't actually made money move. And I want to make sure that there is nothing that is holding you back based on what you were taught and what you caught about money. So we're going to get specifically into some of the shifts that I believe are important for you to have, know, understand, and master so that money does not challenge you from experiencing everything that it is that God desires for you. Genesis 1:26 says, "Let us make man in our own image and likeness," right? The scripture goes on to say, "Let us give them power and authority over the birds of the air and the fish of the sea and everything, and let us give them the power to call everything under their subjection," meaning you're the boss. That's basically what it means. How many of us will be honest and say that we take dominion and we operate as if we're the boss? Anybody willing to be honest with me? That you have an opportunity within yourself to look at the identity that you hold and how you relate to that identity as it pertains to money. Well, that's what we're going to get into tonight. So my first truth bomb for you is this. This clicker is, if I could just, where should I be pointing? Can somebody tell me? Because I'm clearly getting it wrong. Okay. There we go. Okay, so where should I point? Everybody say hi to Dan. Dan gonna keep us all the way together, okay? So my first truth bomb for you is this. Now, my movement is about moving to millions. The millions are plural because I believe being a millionaire and having a $1 million company is the floor, not the ceiling. I believe it's impossible to do exceeding and abundant above all you could ever ask of, think, or imagine, according to the power that's at work within you, if you don't have money, because it is hard to be the change when you don't have any. And so the only way this changes is if we go all the way back and we begin to move ourselves. I believe that when you were born, when you were pushed out or pulled out, you were abundance. Put I am abundance in the chat. I am abundance. Let me see it. Here's what I want you to know. Everything that follows I am will hunt you down and overtake you. So the words you speak out of your mouth are important. And you have to speak the words that bring into your life experience what it is that you most desire. So you came into the earth realm as abundance. And somewhere along the way, like within minutes, you met your family. And immediately you were beginning to be introduced to lack. Now, this is not a diss on your mom, your nana, your auntie, Medea, whatever you called your loved ones. This is not a diss. I believe that they did the best that they could with what they had. And I also believe that their best was not God's best. It was not the best. And so we were introduced to lack. Lack became seeped in our being. And from a space of lack, we do everything that it is that we do. Now, here's the cool or maybe not so cool thing about lack. It doesn't matter if you came from money or not. If you were born into wealth, but you were told that money was taboo and you shouldn't talk about it, that it's inappropriate to ask people how much money they make or what it is that they do for a living, then you still experience lack. And so before we can get to the abundance that we were created in, when I think about Jeremiah 1:5, before you were formed in your mother's womb, God knew and approved you. He called you prophet. Put I'm a prophet in the chat. How many of you know that you know that you know that you have a message to share with the masses? Right? The prophet in you needs to be able to shift back into your original identity in order to fully walk into what it is that God has for you in this season. So we're going to get into how to move yourself. Now, your ability in order to make more money than you know what to do with, I speak over myself every single day that I am grateful that I have more money than I can give, spend, invest, and save. You are welcome to borrow that if you like it, right? All of that is going to hinge upon the way you see God, the way you see yourself, and the way you see money. Did you know, put I knew that if in the chat if you knew that in the Bible 2,300 times, God talks about money, wealth, and possessions. He only talked about poverty 15 times. He talked about money, wealth, and possessions more than he talked about heaven or hell. Why, you might wonder? Because you and me, Yolantrice, Shannon, Dwayne, Jill was in my room most of the time when I was at home. Angela, Valerie, listen, we are supposed to experience wealth and we're supposed to master wealth. How many of you know the parable of the talents? You've probably heard it before, right? Master is going on a long trip and he leaves 3 servants with portions of his money. And he asks them to steward the resources that he is leaving them. To one he leaves how many? Tell me in the chat. 5, right? To one he leaves how many? 3, right? And to the last one he leaves 1. And what happens? The one who had 5 and the one who had 3, what did they do? Not with the one. What did the 3 and the 5 do? Put multiplied. They multiplied the money. The one who was given 1 did what? I already saw it. They buried it. You want to know why he buried it? He said, because Master, when I thought of the way you saw me, I was afraid. I was in fear. And so I buried it because I didn't want to lose your money. How many of you know that scared money don't make money? If you are scared to continue the journey beyond these last 5 days, which have been absolutely amazing, then you will not be able to create money enough, which can turn into wealth enough to shift generational trajectories for your family. And in order for you to be able to do that, you have to understand that money is going to be mental before it's material. Until you work on the 6 inches in between your ears, y'all don't hear me though, you won't feel 7 figures between your fingers. Tiffany talked yesterday about 2 ways we can shift our mindset. Do you remember what they were? If you remember, put them in the chat. She said community in a guide as being 2 ways that we can shift our mindset. Y'all remember that? Right? There are more ways. Those are 2 great ways. But in addition to that, you have to reset what you know to be the truth about money. Now, we have what is true and we have the truth. What is true is a matter of perspective. It's what you believe, and if you believe it, then it is true for you. But then we also have the truth, and the truth is matter of principle. And so it's important for you to understand the principles that are money. So that's what we're going to get into. So first and foremost, money is energy. How many of you have heard that before? Put I have in the chat. How many of you have believed it? Here's the thing. Every single one of us, me, you, Alicia, Valicia, Juanita, Renee, Frank, Kim, Tanya, Krista, every single one of us, we are a spiritual being having a human experience. We are a body filled with energy. I'm not going to go too deep into metaphysics and neuroscience for you tonight, but what I want you to think about when you walk into the room, any room, and you can feel something really good and positive. And what about when you walk into a room and you feel a heavy energy, like you know something is off there? Have you ever experienced this? Right? It's because we're all energy. And we all get to decide. Put decide in the chat. We all get to decide how we vibrate. Your vibration is your choice. Now, you can vibrate low. When you are in fear, grief, powerlessness, despair, overwhelm, frustration, jealousy, worry, or doubt, you are vibrating low. I want you to know when you are vibrating low, nothing you desire is on its way to you. Or you could vibrate high. When you vibrate high, that means that you spend time in gratitude, faith, love, appreciation, and trust. You are in confidence. You are content. Your energy makes you happy. When you vibrate high, you allow abundance, which is up here, to circulate around you at all times. And when you decide, there's that word again, you can pull abundance down into your life experience. How do you want to vibrate? Tabitha said, I'm looking for high. Juanita said high. Y'all, it is moving fast. Louisa, Maya, Ebony, everybody wants to vibrate high. So here's the thing. Now, we've all watched Oprah, where she said, get a gratitude journal, right? Everybody watched that episode? The reason, let me tell you why you want to spend time in gratitude. Because that which you are grateful for, you invite God to bring you more of. You want to bless it until it manifests in your life. And the way you bless it is by expressing thanks for whatever it is. I want you, Rachel talked about making sure that you check your money every single day. And we're going to get into the relationship that we're all in with money in a few minutes. But when you check your bank account, even when the number isn't what you want it to be, I want you to be grateful that something's in there. Because that which you are grateful for, you invite God to bring you more of. I believe that God will give you more when you are moving in the direction of what you truly desire than he ever will if you stand still. And when you're in fear, when you're in doubt, when you're in worry, you're not bringing it in. Gratitude, faith, appreciation, love, and trust is where the magic is. It's where the money is. Now, in order for us to do this, we're going to have to retrace your steps. Now my clicker is moving really fast. And so we're going to have to go all the way back. I said a minute ago, when you were born, whether you were pushed out or pulled out, for those of you who were cesarean births, you came into the earth realm of abundance, and then you met your family. And immediately you were introduced to fear and to lack. And it became commonplace and common state for you. It became subconscious. We have 2 different parts of our brain. We have our conscious brain. That's the part of my brain today that said, I will wear the red. Do I look good? Only put yes in the chat if you agree. Right? That was me consciously deciding today to put on red. But we also have a subconscious mind. And the thing about our subconscious mind is that it takes everything we present to it as if it is the truth. Some of you already know where I'm going with this. Everything your subconscious mind sees, it takes it to be true. So when you think, because you said it under your breath, no one heard you say, I'm stupid, you think you're okay. Your subconscious mind takes that to be your truth. When you say, I am broke, how many of you this week have said, I am broke? Be honest. Your subconscious mind takes it as the truth, and it presents you with examples that support the fact that you are broke. How many of you know the word says, speak those things that be not as though they were, as though they are? Even when you are not where you want to be financially, you're in between blessings. You're in between the flow. You got to speak as if the flow is on its way, because as soon as you speak amiss, you throw the flow off. Your subconscious mind is that powerful. If you've ever gotten in your car, go with me for a second, and you remember starting it, no disrespect to anybody who's still starting their car like this, or starting it, and then the next thing you remember is being on your street, but you don't remember the drive home. Has this ever happened to anyone? Yeah. That's your subconscious mind. It's created a pattern and a memory on the route that you take all the time, and you could literally be asleep at the wheel and it will get you home. This is what is determining the amount of money you move in your life experience. So if you want to change the amount of money you move, you have to become more intentional about money. You're gonna have to. Now, here's the thing. Most people, regardless of how much money they have, they struggle with discussing anything that pertains to money. They don't want to talk about it. It makes them uncomfortable. If you have the avoidant spirit, then you will avoid lots of money coming into your life experience. I'll wait. A lot of people begin to repel money because they believe that it's evil, and therefore they fear having a lot of it. Y'all know where I'm going with this. 1 Timothy 6 and 10. Can we talk about it for a minute? Would that be okay? Put yes in the chat if you want me to talk to you about the scripture that is the most misquoted and people don't understand what God really intended for them to know. Okay, so let me tell you what the scripture says first. 1 Timothy 6 and 10 says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, for they that have coveted after have erred from the faith, and that has caused them sorrow. That's the scripture that gets everybody's panties in a wad. Or boxers in a bunch. Here's the thing. So let me give you a little history. So Paul is talking to Timothy. Timothy is taking over territory where the people have money. And Paul wants to equip Timothy of how to deal with these rich folk, because they deserve salvation too. Can I get an amen? Y'all still with me? So that's the scripture. Here's the problem with the whole thing. And some of you have hung your hat on it, especially because Christianity is rooted in Catholicism. And Catholicism says you are more holy if you are poor. That's why the monks and the nuns give up everything in service to God, because they think that they're getting to heaven faster if they've been willing to give up everything. But how many of y'all know John 10 and 10? That God sent his son, that we might have life and to have it to the full. Put to the full in the chat. Yes, Jesus was rich, Stephanie, and so am I. Absolutely. But we still get this scripture all discombobulated because we're afraid to have a loving, respectful relationship with money because we think that it means we have erred from the faith and we're going to experience sorrow. The Bible was written in 3 languages. Can I tell you that none of them were English? None of them. So it's a mistranslation. If you go and do some research, you will find that the phrase love of money is actually the Greek word avarice, which means extreme greed. Can I tell you what the scripture really says? If I can tell you, tell me. Here's the thing. The scripture really is saying extreme greed is the root of all evil. I'll wait. How many of you, if you got a lot of money, you would be extremely greedy? Let me see your hands. Or how many of you, if you got a lot of money, you would be taking care of family, you would be taking care of others? How many of you would be actually doing good with your money? Right? So let's journey down. We're going to stay in 1 Timothy chapter 6. We're going to stay there, but we're going to go down to verse 17. Because this is the part, after we read that first part, we convince ourselves that we can't love money, and that's all we want to hear. But I want to go down to verse 17. So Paul is talking to Timothy, and he's like, listen, these people are in your area, and they're coming to fellowship with you, and I need you to know what to tell them because they have this money. And so Paul tells Timothy 3 things that those of us who are wealthy, put I am wealthy in the chat, have to do. Number 1, we have to not be arrogant or high-minded. That's number 1. Number 2, we have to do good deeds. And number 3, this is my favorite, we have to remember the source of our wealth. So you can be wealthy. You can love money. You can have boatloads of money. Put boatloads of money in the chat. You can have it, and you don't have to choose love God or love money. They are not mutually exclusive. You can have them both. Does anybody feel set free? Anybody? Is this good? Is this good? Is this going to help you to not only continue to take trades, but get yourself into Stocks 101? I don't know about you, but I'm getting the course. I'm getting into Stocks 101 because I need it. I need to understand what I wasn't able to learn over these past 5 days, as amazing as it was. A couple other things I want to share with you. This is really important. You will never have more money than you believe is a lot. So you're going to have to take the limits off and raise your tolerance level for money if you want more of it. Because if you've ever looked at the price of something and said, whoa, that's a lot of money, you just pretty much said that that amount of money will never flow into your life experience on a consistent basis. That's pretty much what you've said. So we have to be careful what we speak. And we have to understand that money needs purpose to flow in. I believe in, what did Tiffany say yesterday? Split it until you get it. I believe in spending the money in advance, giving money purpose before it flows into your life experience. So I think it was yesterday, Tiffany had us put a number in the chat that we wanted in our bank account. Was that yesterday? Was that Tiffany or was that somebody else who did it? Somebody did it this week. Put the number we want to have flow into our bank account. So I want you to do it for me again. What's the amount of money that when you check your bank account, you will feel safe and secure. You will feel loved. You will feel like anything that you desire can be yours, and there are no limits to your success and how you can help other people. What's the number? 25 million, 10 million, 100,000, 500K, 14 million, $15,000 a month, $50,000. It was Anthony. Yes, I saw that. 10 mil, 100 mil, 1 mil, 20 mil, $88,000 per month. Okay, great. Here's my assignment for you. Is it okay if I give you a little bit of homework? I want you to give all of that money purpose. What are you going to do with it? Where is it going? How much is going to retirement? How much is going to your kids? How much is going for you to take vacations once a quarter? How much is going for you to buy a house, build a house? I want you to spend the money in advance because money needs purpose to come in. You get to determine the purpose. Make sure you set aside your tithes and your philanthropic interests because remember, you can't be arrogant or high-minded. You have to do good deeds, and you got to remember the source of your wealth. But I want you to literally spend the money. When you get this trade thing down, baby, and you start being like Terry, and you're making $1 million a day, what you gonna do with the money? give the money purpose, because money is currency, and that means it is always flowing. It never stops. Now, it can stop because you right now are in a relationship with money. Some of y'all it's a thin line between love and hate. Some of y'all, that's the relationship you got with money. Now, some of y'all, your relationship is on and popping. You're in a relationship. And I want you to think about the relationship with the person you love the most. And I want you to think about the characteristics of that relationship. You spend time together. They listen to you. They make you feel safe. They make you feel seen. They make you feel heard. They got your back. They're always there for you. Am I describing the relationship that you most want? Tell me in the chat if I am. You got to have that same kind of relationship with money. Rachel said, look at your money every day. Because let me ask you this. If you were in a relationship with a person and you didn't talk to them every day, how long do you think you would be in relationship with them? How long? Like, not long, right? They not staying around if no one's paying them any attention. Money needs attention. And money doesn't know how to show up for you unless you tell it how. For those of you who are in romantic relationships, did you have to tell your boo how to boo you? Did you have to tell him? Did you have to say, right there, that spot? Oh, no, stop that. Do more of that. Well, guess what? You need to do the same thing with money. You have to tell it how you want it to show up for you, how you want it to be there for you. And you have to remember that money flows away from those who feel that there's a shortage of it. How many of you have ever said, ooh, that's expensive. I can't afford that. That's out of my budget. That is too much money. There's no way in the world they should be making that much. You know what you're telling money? You're telling money that you think that there is not enough of it around. And who wants to stay around people who don't think that they're worthy, that there's enough of them? And so it leaves you. And it's why you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. Somebody said that the other night. Someone said, I have to see how many Pauls I'm going to rob in order to pay Terry. Was it you, Sherelle? Was it you, girl? Here's the thing. If you give money purpose and you treat money right, you won't have to rob Peter to pay Paul. It'll be showing up for you and you won't even know how. Okay, so here's the thing. And this is weird. And I don't know if I can entirely give voice to it, but I'm going to do my best. I got 5 minutes and 15, 14, 13, 12 seconds left. The way it works is kind of weird. And I can't use any other word other than that. But when you stay in a high vibration, when you feel gratitude, love, appreciation, faith, and trust, you are allowing money to expand around you at an ever-increasing rate. It shows up anywhere, everywhere. Let me tell y'all this story. So I have a work house. So instead of working in my home where I live, I bought another house because real estate, part of my portfolio, I'm worth 8 figures, includes a lot of real estate. So one of the houses that I bought, I work from there. So me and my team, that's where we work every single day. It's really nice, new construction. Anyway. So I'm in my office in my home, because sometimes I do stay at home or when I'm not feeling that great. And I'm going through mail, don't judge me, that have been sitting there for, I don't know, at least a month. No, more than that. The date on the check that was for $1,691, the date on the check was December. I just opened it. I know, Shannon, don't judge me. I said, don't judge me. I literally just opened it last week. The money had been sitting there for months. I know, I was so grateful that I got it in time because after 280 days, the check is void, right? So moral to the story is make sure that you open in your mail, right? But literally, money was just sitting there. Then, within an hour, a friend that I had loaned money, and you know when you loan money to your friends, you should expect to not ever get it back. Look, Sherelle's like, yes, right? So I didn't expect the money back, but a friend that I loaned $1,000, but I really gave $1,000, Cash apped me $1,000. Not even an hour after that, I'm talking to a client who says, I want to spend the day with you. And she asked me how much the day is. I told her, and she wired me multiple 5 figures to spend the day with me. Inside of 3 hours after, now it was a Sunday, so it was relatively early in the day. And as a part of my routine, when I get up, I spend time in gratitude, I set intentions, I sit, I visualize everything that I want to come into my life experience. Not just money, but money, of course, being one of those things, because money gives you options and choices. And when you have options and choices, you get to decide. There's that word again. I went through all of this. I went down to my office, checked the mail, $1,691. Within an hour, $1,000 in Cash App that I thought I would never get back. Within an hour, I'm not going to tell y'all the amount, multiple 5 figures wired to my bank account. That one day, over $30,000 in one day from doing what it is that I'm telling you. And I need you to know I do this every day. How many days a week do you wash your body? Don't tell me. If it ain't every day, don't tell me in the chat. 7, yes. Just like you wash your behind, I need you to start washing your mind. Because if you start to do that, everything in your life will change. Everything in your life will change. And as I leave you, I just got one more thing I want to say. And that is simply this. God is such a gentleman, and he will let you live on whatever level you settle for. And if you are going to settle, my recommendation is that you settle for next level everything. I am Dr. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon. It has been my joy and my honor and my privilege to share this time with you. I want to thank you so much, and I want to invite you to make that money move by consistently investing in yourself while also being investable. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Gosh, you're so welcome. This is so fun.
It is so amazing.
Yes, make the money move. Get down on it. Yes.
I actually have a question for you.
Okay.
So you told us your story, and I remember earlier today we were talking about having, and you'll know the phrase better, but it was why growing your relationship with God would allow you to grow your business. What are some of those things that, if you can remember, some of those things and reasons why it's so important to grow your relationship with God?
Yeah, because first and foremost, our identity, and I talked about this a little bit, Genesis 1:26. And just to give you a little context of Genesis 1:26, God hadn't made Adam and Eve yet. It was just a vision. It was just an idea in that time, because he had created the birds and the animals and all of that, and he knew that his creation wasn't complete, that he also needed man. And so he gave man his identity. He said, you're created in my image and likeness. You have power and authority over everything, but y'all not taking up your power. Y'all not taking up space. Y'all not walking like it's yours. And that's what God most desires for us. So if you have a business, raise your hands or put in the chat if you have a business. So what I want you to know, and what God knows, is that the idea for your business was not your original construct. It was his. The scripture in Psalm says, delight yourself in the Lord, and he'll give you the desires of your heart. The word desire in Latin means of the Father. So that thing you think you thought of, God thought of it. And he placed it in you, already creating the provision for the vision that he gave you so that it would actually manifest. So by deepening your relationship and your connection with him, your confidence heightens so that you get back into your original identity, so that you can go out and do what he already said. He said, that you would prosper as your soul prospers. The way your soul prospers is through connection and alignment. If you are outside of the will of God because you're not in your own relationship, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about personal connection and relationship with God, then you are not going to experience the exceeding and abundant that he desires for you based on the power that he gave you before you were formed in your mother's womb. So when you create and establish a deeper connection to God, everything around you will grow because that's who God is. He speaks it and it is. He already spoke it when he gave you the desire, and he desires for it to be, but you're going to have to get out of your own way.
Amen.
Amen.
I love that. I wanted to hear a little more.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Real quick, we're gonna break soon here, and come on over, Alicia. I know you probably have some questions too. We're gonna break soon, but I wanted to come back out and just thank y'all again because this is the very last day for general admission. This is day number 5. We did it. I'm so excited.
We did
yes.
it.
Shout out to everybody who made their trade. And then, are there any questions, real quick, before y'all leave for Darnyelle? I know we're about to jump into VIP, but real quick, anything that y'all want to say or do before we close and wrap up?
I'm 5'8" flat-footed, but right now I have on 4-inch heels, so that makes me 6 something.
And I took off my heels because they hurt. So I'm 5 foot nothing.
What is the name of my book? It's called Move to Millions, The Proven Framework to Become a $1 Million CEO with Grace and Ease instead of Hustle and Grind.
I love that.
I love it. That's because we are.
Yes,
going to
congratulations, Janelle. She just signed up for the stock class.
Woo!
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes. Awesome. They want to be walked through selling on E-Trade.
Listen, you have to be a VIPer because you can get all of those questions answered tomorrow through the 3-hour session with Terry. So if you are not a VIPer and you want to be in that 3-hour session, you still can sign up. They are going to drop the link in the chat. Yes, I already see you asking for it, Karen. Don't worry, it's coming.
Tiffany says the link is showing offline for people trying to buy the course, so we need to get that fixed.
Okay,
so that people can get it.
Okay, we're going to work on that. The link is tradeandtravel.com/stocks101. So tradeandtravel.com/stocks101.
Yes, Michelle is all
Someone
in.
asked about my everyday prayer. Tanya, I will do you one better. If you go to movetomillions.com, there's a free gift tab, and I want you to click on the one for the prayer. I will literally give you the prayer. I have it all written out. Go to movetomillions.com, click on free gifts, and choose the option for the prayer, and I'll give you the prayer.
Nice.
Yes. And yes, for Sharon, there is a payment plan because Terry heard you all asking for it yesterday, and it is now a payment plan. Sandra is saying that it is not showing up on the website, so we are going to have our team check that out to make sure.
I think it's because there's an S, Stocks 101. Someone's putting stock, it's Stocks with an S, Stocks 101.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, there is a payment plan. Lacey has just confirmed it for us. Thank you so much, Lacey, for confirming. See, this is what I mean. Family, scroll down. You will see the payment plan. This is why I like y'all, because y'all are supporting each other, helping each other out. Yes.
Oh, good.
That's
Janelle
okay,
said
Jacqueline. Just scroll all the way down and you will see the payment plan. I promise it is
shout
there.
out to you guys that signed up. Hey, Lisa.
Yes.
Hey, Lonnie.
I'm so excited for you. I'm signing up.
Woohoo.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
I'm signing up too.
Hey.
Yes, we're going to be
doing
there.
it by tomorrow so I can get my Q&A because I'm going to need some Q&A.
That part. I'm going to need Q&A. We're going to definitely
by
need
Saturday.
Q&A because we are going to make sure that we not only are giving our money purpose, but that we are, what did you say? It has to be mental before it is material?
Yeah, it's mental before it's material.
Listen,
good.
I was over there taking so many notes. I took so many, I had to bring my cell phone in here, y'all, so that I could read all my notes from my cell phone. It was so good. Now, listen, we are going to go ahead and go to the VIP portion of this. If you are not yet signed up and you want to be a VIPer, go ahead and sign up now. Now, sometimes if you just signed up for VIP, it might not let you in immediately. If that is the case, let us know in the chat. We have our team monitoring it so that we can make sure that you are able to get in. And then we will see you tomorrow because it is 3 hours of Terry just answering questions. And for those who are a VIP, before you go, I want to make sure add your questions in your dashboard because the team, we are going to take all of those questions so that Terry can just go through them tomorrow to start so that we are getting in there and you are maximizing your time. And remember, don't ask questions you can Google.
Yes.
And also shout out to, I'm trying to see where she is today. There's so many people. We gave a gift on, I think it was the middle night. We gave a gift of $1,000 to Ingrid. Yes.
Ingrid.
We gave a gift, but guess what Ingrid did? Ingrid took it one further. She said, I would actually like to bless 2 people with my gift. So we gave her $1,000. She said, I want you to give 2 $500 gifts to 2 people that want to get into the course so that they can use it towards their course. So we'll keep
Ingrid.
spreading the love. Yes.
That is awesome.
Yes, and I think there's an Anita Jenkins, so you may want to look at her. She meant to choose the payment plan, but if we are going to do the $500 gift, I know you'll have the team to choose who those folks are.
Mm-hmm.
And Anita, we're going to check out Anita. So now, what we want to make sure that we're doing with your Stocks 101, if you are not in it yet, remember the payment plan is down at the bottom. So scroll all the way down to the bottom, Mavis, and you will see it. If you scroll down to the bottom, I promise it's there.
Amani's got
We're looking at the we're looking at the
She's
chat.
like, no, scroll down, scroll down.
So a couple people asked more about the Stocks 101. It is 8 weeks, 8 courses. We go first from intro to the stock market. So you got some of that, but a lot of the things that we covered here, we go a little further in the course. So week 1. Mm-hmm. Then we go into trading plan. This is things that you need to know in order to figure out how you will trade. We go into technical analysis. So that's how do you find the right price to get into a stock. When we were putting in the price we wanted to put, I said, well, just shave a little bit off. But we actually have a whole formula of how you choose the stock price. Mm-hmm. We look at charts to do that. Then we go a little deeper and look at risk management. So when we're thinking about, okay, where do I put my stop loss or how do I protect myself or even quantity size, all that is chosen by risk management. So we go into that in the course. Then once you've done all those things, you have to put it together into a plan because you want to be able to repeat it consistently. Right. Every time you get like bubbles in your stomach and get nervous, if you have a plan, you can take some of that away. Like, hey, I do this every time I take a trade. I take 7 steps, and it's like clockwork. Mm-hmm. It's a habit now. Mm-hmm. As I think Rachel talked about habits. So then we talk about the plan. And then we gave you a couple bonuses. We also talked to you about short selling. I told you that I made money today when the market was falling. How do you do that? How do you make money when stocks fall? And then we also talked to you about gaps in Globex trading. Okay, Terry, you told me that overnight there's some movement going on. Is there a way to take advantage of that? Yes, we talk about that in the course as well. So those are all the things we cover in Stocks 101. I personally think it's everything you need to know to do well in stock trading. So that's what we got for you.
Awesome. I'm excited. I can't wait to get in there. Charlene is asking a question. You got to go to movetomillions.com, Charlene, and then click free gifts and then scroll down to the one that says the surrender prayer.
Yes.
And that'll give you the prayer that I say every day.
Okay.
And for those who are asking about the dashboard, you must be a VIPer, but when you log in onto your profile, you will see where you can ask and submit, or where you can submit, your questions. You want to make sure that you submit your questions because tomorrow Terry is going to be answering those.
Yeah.
So you have to be a VIPer, so we want to make sure that for all of those who are okay, that's okay, Regina. Go ahead and log in now. That's all right, Regina. You can log in right now.
You want to be here tomorrow for them 3 hours, ma'am?
Yes.
And you ask,
my mom's name is Regina Williams. I know that's not my mama, but that's my mama name.
Hey, maybe it is your mama. You never know.
It's not my mama. I promise you it's not her. She don't even know how to get on Zoom.
Okay, never mind. But there is another Regina, too, that says, can we send this Stocks 101 to other family members and friends? The answer is yes, you can. It's like we talked about community with Tiffany yesterday. Yes, if you have other people, they can't share your course now. Don't give them your login. They got to buy it for themselves. But yes, invite other people to do the course with you so you have some accountability.
Yep.
Yes. So now for those who are not still in the VIP, we are going to tell you good night. We are so thankful that you joined us for 5 days. 5 days of absolute growth, magic, learning, education, and taking our first trade.
Yes.
This has been truly phenomenal. And I am so excited to not only continue to stay connected, but for all of us to be millionaires. Hey, millionaire
Yes.
cousins.
Millionaire cousins.
Hey, millionaire cousins.
Thank
Y'all
you,
all coming to
guys.
the family reunion?
Coming to
Right,
the
that
family
part.
reunion.
Listen.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Stay in here for the VIP.
And remember, tomorrow for VIP, it is 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. See you tomorrow for our VIPers. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
All right. Hello, hello, hello. We are back again. Now, this is one of my favorite parts. I don't know if that told y'all, but this is one of my favorite parts right under the teaching. Tara, teaching is number one, but then these intimate moments with each of you has been just so incredibly powerful. And listening to you talk the entire time, I have been getting my life.
Good.
But I want to get a little bit more. I want to get
Okay.
just a little bit more into your business a little bit.
I got a little bit more business I can share.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So when you were speaking earlier, you were saying that you were born to drug addicted, then crack addicted parents in the projects. You didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
Yep.
So for most people in their minds, you can't like that's not something you can change, at least not easily. And then of course, whatever you focus on is what grows. So with that type of a background, and with there being so much focus globally around all the scariest things imaginable, it can be difficult to only focus on what we desire. So then what are some strategies that we can use so that we can more intentionally direct our focus? Because it gets hard when you see something different, but know in your heart that, hey, more is possible.
Yeah, I love this question. I'm going to turn to y'all. Okay, so first, to tell you how I did it, I had a teacher. Any teachers in the house? Any teachers? Current teachers? Used to be a teacher? Wanted to be a teacher? Okay.
Yeah.
So Sharmitra, Nathaniel, I'm just going to say thank you on behalf of my teacher, 5th grade, Mrs. Dixon. She changed my life. She did not see angry black girl. I had every right to be angry because I didn't tell y'all when I was 8, my mom went to jail. Literally during my 8th birthday party, my mom's home was raided and they took her to jail. So I was angry. I was pissed. If I would have known that pissed was a word at 8, I don't think I did. And so I was very angry, but Miss Dixon did not see angry black girl. She saw promise and potential, and she gave me a journal. And she helped me to hone my anger into words. And that journal changed my life because I found my purpose. She had been teaching us about purpose, which I wanted to use words to change other people's lives. And I found an outlet for the anger that I felt. And so in finding that outlet, I opened up space. So remember I said when we vibrate fear and frustration and overwhelm and all of that, we're vibrating low. But when we are expressive, when we're getting it out of our cellular memory and out into the world, we vibrate high. So I created space. I created a container to think a different thing. And I made a decision. I was smart enough. Children are brilliant creatures in so many ways. And I was smart enough to know that I could get with this or I could get with that. And I decided I didn't want to get with that because this was where it was at, right? So I made a decision at a very young age that I was going to use education as my way out of the ghetto and that I was going to equip myself to not only change my life, but to use words to help other people change theirs. And so that was really it. So practical steps. First, decide. You are not what you've been through, and you need to stop giving your past permission to speak. What you speak over yourself is so important. That's why I said, whatever follows I am will hunt you down and overtake you. Now, that's not my original quote. Joel Osteen said it. But be careful what you speak over yourself, because if the whole universe was created through God saying, let there be, and it was, the things that you speak will also show up in your life. So I decided something different, and I moved every day. I believe God will give you more when you're moving than he ever will if you stand still.
You better say
And
that.
I moved every day in the direction of what I desired. So I read books. I studied voraciously. I became a good student. I was teacher's pet. I was the counselor's pet. I was everybody's pet because I needed money for applications. I wanted all the fees waived. I wanted all the things. And I did get to go to school on a full academic scholarship. I got my master's on a full scholarship. I paid no money for my traditional education because I decided at 10 years old that my life was not going to be the sum total of what my parents had done. I believe they did the best that they could with what they had. I've never been addicted to a substance, so I don't even know what it's like. I think they did the best that they could with what they had, but I decided that I wanted God's best, not their best.
Listen, I just got chills.
Yeah.
I think I need y'all to put that in the chat just for me so I can keep getting chills. God's best, not their best.
Ooh, and how many times have we depended on someone else and then judged them by their best
Yeah.
and said negative things about what's possible in our life because we were looking at it from the vantage point of somebody else's best.
And it also allows you to hold a space of forgiveness. And forgiveness, I didn't get to this particular slide in my presentation, but forgiveness unblocks the flow of your funds. Your money will flow more when you do your forgiveness work. Listen, forgive yourself first and foremost. And whoever it was that did whatever they did, first of all, some of them did know that they did it, but most of them, they don't know. They don't remember. They don't know that you still holding on to it. It has you in a chokehold, and they out here living their best life. Forgiveness is for you so that you get everything. I think about the story in Mark 11:22 through 26. I think actually starts at verse 20. Jesus and the disciples are walking to Bethany, and Jesus sees the fig tree, and he wants a fig Newton. But the fig Newtons aren't producing, so he curses the tree, and they keep walking. And the next day when they're coming back, the disciples cannot believe that the tree actually died. Jesus turns around and say, you can say to any mountain, move, if you do 4 things. If you believe, if you don't doubt, if you speak what you desire instead, and if you forgive. Forgiveness is important. And when you forgive, you open up space. You create capacity for abundance to flow in. All the unforgiveness in your heart is taking up space that your millions are supposed to fill. And you won't get it unless you let it go. And let me say this too. Do not text them. Do not call them. Do not write them a letter and say, I forgive you. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to piss you off all over again.
Yes.
Then you
Because
gonna
they
stop
can't
forgiving?
even believe you still holding on to it. They don't let that thing go.
Oh, you still thinking about that?
Right. So don't
That
tell them.
happened so long ago.
Don't tell them. It's for you. You do your work. Do not tell them.
Ooh, listen, I needed this too. This is for me. Yes, Tanya, my heart is beating fast too because the chills.
Kara
It is
said,
the
wow, I am in tears. Thank you for
I love
this.
it.
I love it.
Yes, and especially that learning to forgive yourself because you too did the best you could with the information
you
had.
Yeah.
Right.
And now that we know better, we do better.
Right. And most of the things that you were taught or caught, they were taught or caught from somebody who did what they saw, what they were taught or caught.
Yeah.
So it's the perpetual cycle of lack and wrongness just being passed down. And that's why being here, taking this first part of the course, getting into Stocks 101, it's a way that you change the cycle. You break the curse.
Yes.
You allow something else to be taught and caught because you'll be able to teach your children that money is an energy that can flow to them, that they get to decide and they have control over how much money they have in their life experiences. How much different would it have been if when you were a child, someone taught you that?
Yes.
That's what you literally have the power to do in your hands because of this amazing creature who taught us for the last 5 days, got us out of our comfort zone, broke down the things we didn't know, that we thought it was so big and arduous and there was no way we could do it. Now we know we hold the power to make that money. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen.
Cousins.
That's
We
good.
are
Listen.
making.
I want all my millionaire cousins at the family reunion. All of y'all.
that part.
Yeah.
We all need to be at
Yes.
the reunion.
At the reunion.
And we don't know how long the price is going to last. So you want to take advantage now. Why put off for today? Why put off for tomorrow what you can do today? Today, right now, while you are fully functioning, your mind is it's good and working. Okay,
Yeah.
it's good and working. I be seeing all these messages in the chat and what y'all saying. Your mind is working. Get it now.
yeah.
Get it now, especially because we need y'all to be in the Q&As that we're going to have because we're going to get it before Saturday, okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
get the course now. And so now, in your book, you talked about 7 strategies, and I'm not going to ask you to give us all the strategies, but moving from what was to what will be, and you started honing that gift as a 10-year-old girl, it requires a targeted approach, and you got real targeted, especially getting all the scholarships, because I didn't get any. So I had to pay. Listen, I was bad.
That wasn't you. You weren't that girl.
I wasn't that girl, but I'm gonna do better though. I'm doing better.
You are. Look at you
Doing better.
now.
You are.
But what are at least the first 1, 2, or maybe even 3 steps that you put in your book to move to millions?
Yeah, so the first one, and it's in the book somewhere. I don't know if it's in this order, right? But the first is believing that you are worthy and you deserve it, right? You'll never have more money than you feel is a lot. So you have to believe that millions of dollars is chump change. You cannot hold in your body that millions of dollars is a lot of money. Because listen, as someone who has millions, it ain't a lot. I could take some more. It's chump change. And unless you hold that belief, you won't expand your capacity and raise your tolerance for more to come in. So, and that was whoever asked that question, you'll never have more money than you think is a lot. That was that one. So the first is you got to believe that you are deserving and worthy. Listen, again, I'm going to say your parents did the best they could with what they had. They didn't mean it when they said you just like you're no good, insert whichever family member. Their hurt, their frustration is what was flowering them to speak ill over you. And you took it in because you didn't know any better, because you were literally a sponge.
Yeah.
But they didn't mean it. God said you are approved. He called you prophet. Can I just break this down for like 2 seconds? Your mom and dad hadn't even had sex yet, y'all. Before you were in your mother's womb, God called you prophet. He approved you. He knew you and he approved you. That makes you worthy. And if that's not enough, we can go all the way back to the beginning in Genesis. He said, let us make man in our image and likeness. You are a God of the earth. You have the same power that God has in the earth realm. That's who you are. So you are worthy of having more money than you can give, spend, invest, or save. You are worthy of it right now. You don't need to lose 1 pound. You don't need to buy a new wig. You don't need to get your hair cut. You don't even need to wash your butt. You worthy right now. So you got to hold that belief. So that's number 1. I'm gonna be a little bit shorter because I could preach on every word that I say. Number 2, after you hold the belief, set the vision. Right? You got to see it so that you get to experience it. So set the vision. And then number 3, get moving. God will give you more while you're moving than he will if you stand still. Take the first step you know to take. Just like a GPS, you put the address in, you know where you want to go. I want to go to $1 million. I want to go to millions of dollars. What does the GPS do? It recalculates. Take the first step you know to take. When I get in my car with the GPS on, I turn out of my driveway. By the time I get to the end of the street, it's telling me the next direction. Take the first step you know to take. Get moving.
That's so true,
I
because
like that.
you can put it in the GPS, but if you never take your foot off the
Right.
brake and put it on the gas, it does not move.
Right. It
And
can.
it won't say the next step.
It will
Right.
not tell you the next step. And the best thing, though, about it is so I'm going to tell y'all a little bit more of my business. I get lost going everywhere. Even in my hometown, I have the worst sense of direction. And I lived there 20 years, and I still get lost when I go home. It is incredibly sad. You got to own who you are. But here's the thing. So because I get lost going everywhere, I have to use a GPS to go everywhere. And I still sometimes get it wrong. I don't know what it is. Y'all
Well, if
pray
you're not
my
paying
strength.
attention when that little beep goes off, you could miss your turn. That's happened to me.
And
miss
sometimes
it all
they're
the time.
slow.
Yeah.
You're right up on the turn, and
Right.
then they're like,
And then-
and now go right.
Right.
Exactly. But the
Yeah.
best thing about that is even when you make a wrong turn, it steers you right back.
Yeah,
so
still
that you can get to
recalculates.
your
Yeah.
destination.
Yeah.
So we are all going to put $1 million plus. I need y'all to, whether you type it all the way out, but I need you to put $1 million plus because $1 million is chump change. And
It's
William,
chump change.
I know you said you're trying to
Yeah.
hold
It's
$1
the
million because you're trying to
floor.
see something, but no.
It's the floor, not the ceiling. Okay, can I give y'all another tip? So I didn't get to say this in my presentation, but one of the things that I did, because I didn't come from money and I didn't get to tell y'all all my story about all the things I've been through with money, but I believe I experienced everything I experienced because I was going to be a teacher of money and I was going to teach people how to get money. So one of the things that I did, and I would encourage you to do it, as much money as you have and as you can, go take it out of the bank. And small bill, like whatever bill. So I'll tell you a story. 2013, I did a live event, and at that live event, I took in like $400,000. Of that $400,000, $100,000 of it was cash. I had never seen $100,000 all at one time together. I took all the money out of the bank. I went home, I took all my clothes off, and I rolled around in the money. Let me tell you why I did it, because I needed to know what it felt like to have money, because I didn't know. Yes, when I worked in corporate America, I had a job that paid me 6 figures by the time I left, but I never had $100K all at one time. I had whatever, $3,000, whatever was left over after FICA and a homegirl came and took whatever they took. I never had that much money at one time. So to be in the energy and to feel how it felt to have that money on my body, it changed my vibration. And I realized that money comes to me easily and effortlessly at all times whenever I command it to.
Yes.
And so I started to command money to come to me whenever I want it. And that helped me to do it. If you got $1,000, get ones. Whatever amount you
Make it
got.
rain.
If the small, don't get coins, because that will stick to your booty.
Oh, God.
Get the dollars. And listen, once you finish rolling around with it, take a shower before you take it back to the bank.
Yeah.
And depending upon the amount of money it is, because for me it was $100,000, so when I took it back to the bank, I had to be able to prove that my money was not gotten in an ill-gotten way. So I had to take my client agreements and stuff to substantiate that I deserve to come and deposit this money and they ain't need to call the people on me. So if you take out a lot of money, just be prepared to be able to do that. Like, take your bank statement. See, I had this amount in. See, when I withdrew it, okay, this is me bringing it back so that they don't try to call the popo on you.
I love it. But then part of your story too, I think this is your story, is you were doing something and then you took a class, right?
Yes,
And
so I
then
filed
that
bankruptcy.
changed? Yeah.
So I had $250,000 in credit card debt by the time I was 30.
You were getting all the stuff.
Sherelle judging me.
I'm not judging
She's
you.
judging me. Sherelle, stop it, girl.
Sherelle, we weren't judging together. We were
When
just.
I said don't judge me, that was universal for the whole time we together. No, I'm joking. I just saw your face. So I just wanted to. It's all
I'm
good. It's all
sorry.
good. Listen, I speak about it openly because we don't change if we're unwilling to share what we've been through. We don't help anybody. But yes, and the sad thing about it, Alicia, is I didn't even have Gucci. I didn't even have name brand stuff. It was me trying to buy my friends.
Oh, so you
Looking
was
for
going on
love in all the
vacation.
wrong place. Like, it was, girl, can you play my electric bill this month?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I had some stuff, but it wasn't like today. But anyway, by the time I was 30, I had $250,000 in credit card debt. I kept it going for as long as I could. Eventually, I couldn't juggle all the balls anymore, and I knew I needed to file bankruptcy. And I still didn't want to file bankruptcy because my ego was like, this is a public record. People are going to know that I filed bankruptcy, and they're going to tell everybody. That's the dumbest thing ever. But I didn't know. Anyway, eventually I filed bankruptcy because the bottom fell out. There was nothing else I could do. And the bankruptcy trustee forced me to take a financial literacy course. And that changed my life. Within 3 years, I was a millionaire. So by the time I was 38, I was a millionaire. I'm 48 and I'm worth $12 million.
Listen, yeah.
Look at
I
that.
need y'all to
Yes.
put in the chat. Yeah.
Yes.
Because of some of the things I shared with you here about money, what it is, how it moves, how you have to think and act around it. It changed everything. I have real estate. I do have a stock portfolio, but I never managed it myself. I got into Microsoft. I got into a lot of stocks at a really good time to make a lot of money.
That's
And then we
good.
would take the money out of the stock market and put it into real estate. So I have a lot of real estate. I do have, I still have a stock portfolio. I have a cryptocurrency portfolio. And then I do have some liquid. And insurance policies that have cash payouts and all the things one should have. Because here's what I said. I went to, my financial advisors, they are not black. And not because I don't love our people, but I wanted to know what the white people know. Because the problem with our community is we don't know. So I literally, and this probably makes me sound so illiterate, but I literally went to all my people, my whole financial management team. I have a CPA, I have a tax strategist, I have an estate attorney, I have a bookkeeper, I have an accountant, I have a certified financial advisor, and I feel like I'm missing one. I have 7 people on my financial management team. They're all old white men because I want to know what they know. Because they keep information from us. Money is power. Money gives you options. And if we don't have the options, we don't have the power. We know this. We all know we're marginalized, and they don't want us to be wealthy because I think that and I know this might get me in trouble, but I think that if we could still be picking cotton, we would be. And so I wanted to learn, I really remember going to my account and be like, you know how Amazon don't pay no taxes? I need that plan. Hook me up. I need to know. I want it to be ethical because I want to be able to sleep at night because of my father. And I'm unwilling to do anything that would put me out of right standing with him. But I want to know all the things I don't know. And I read books and I attend events. I go into rooms where I am the only person who looks like me. And I'm right there with my notebook learning. Oh, I'm sorry. So you said that I could, okay, and I write it all down and I go back and I go talk to my people. And they're like, how did you learn about this strategy? Because I was in that room.
But you know what I have found? Oftentimes we think white men know more than us, and they don't.
And that might be the case. Yeah, that might be.
Sometimes I feel like we always think somebody, and this is not for you, but just in general. I'm like, sometimes I feel like we think everybody else knows better when we could know the knowledge too.
We could. And I'm not trying to suggest that there are not people in our community that have this information. That's not what I'm trying to suggest. I wanted to make sure that I learned the things I needed to know that I had never heard before in the rooms I was in with people that looked all just like us. So that I could learn that information, I could process it, I could validate the certainty of it, and then I could go back and I could start sharing it.
Yeah.
Or I could point people in the right direction.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you've been blessed, you pass it on. That's how you keep the abundance circulating in your life, right? You will have so much more when you give it away. That's why I honor Ingrid for giving her $1,000 to 2 people.
Yeah.
Girl, you just don't even know. Double, triple, quadruple, tenfold is coming back into your life just because of that act of giving.
Yeah. So, Terry, I have a question for you. Now, you have taught thousands all over the globe. #1 course in the world on Teachable. But now my question is this. So now this cohort, yes, you have immediate access, but this cohort starts May the 1st. What are you most excited about for these new millionaire cousins?
Yes.
What are you most excited about?
Honestly, I'm excited about changing the status quo. I'm excited about the stories that I'm going to hear you all tell about how you made your first dollar and the excitement that you have when you make your first $1,000 in a day and what you do with it. I've heard so many cool stories from one of our students was in chemo and she was at the hospital, but she could still trade.
Oh,
and
nice.
how, like she was like, I could still make money, Terry. Like it's keeping me active. I have some grandparents who like, it just keeps their mind going. They just enjoy learning. And then there's other people that are like using it to replace their income or go on trips. We had one person do a what was it called? Like their anniversary trip.
Mm-hmm.
He paid for a whole trip for his anniversary to Greece with trading money.
Nice.
And then personally, I went to Greece last year and one of my students was on the bus with me like, hey, Terry, I got here because I traded. So I can't wait to just see what
that's
happens in
awesome.
your lives when you start seeing your money work for you. That's going to be the coolest part.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Listen, this is real good.
This
Now,
is so good.
who is it? Terry, I want to Google like you when I make my first 10K.
Giggle.
Oh,
Giggle.
Giggle like her.
Tell me why, y'all, listen. Clearly it's late. I definitely did not see that eye. I was like, where is the other?
My grandmother, my grandmother's passed away now, but we were like, our birthdays were 3 days apart, so we were very similar. She used to always say, like, she knew I was in the house if she heard my giggle, because I giggle all day just laughing at myself. And she's like, if I hear some giggling, I know she's here.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it. And
I
yes.
love Beatrice asked, Ashley asked a good question. What's the best thing you've been able to do or give since becoming wealthy?
Ooh, that's a good one for
Hey.
both of you.
Yeah. I think one of my favorites is retiring my mom. I retired my mom. I bought her a house and a car so she doesn't have to want for anything. And she has like a bank account with hundreds of thousands in it so she doesn't have to want for anything.
I love it.
She still pretends that she's broke though, but then, when I think that's just been all her life. It's been
Yeah.
that way, so it's a learned behavior. I have to remind her that she is actually wealthy, but now she has this senior saints group. I think I told y'all about it one of the days, and they're going on a field trip coming up. So they got a whole bus, and they're going on a field trip, and all of them have been asking her like, "Hey, do you need us to pay something for it?" And she'll be like, "Sure. Excuse me, if you want to donate something, you can donate." But then the cool thing is she's like, actually, I got it and I can handle it all. So
Yeah.
it just gives her joy. So I
Yeah,
think
that's
seeing
awesome.
the joy that she has and then how she spreads it to her other friends at the church,
Yeah.
that has been probably the best gift. And then I've tons of real estate that I enjoy. I've also been a real estate broker for as long as I've been a trader in the stock market. That's been fun. I've bought things for different ministries, from mental health to creative ministries like singing. I've supported some singers on their tours. So it's just been that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. For me, I really do love giving money away, and not even the big checks. So I've progressed the amount of checks I want to write. So like 4 years ago, it was the year of $10,000 checks. So every time I blessed somebody, I gave them $10,000. Then the year after that, it was the year of $25,000 checks. And then last year was the year of $50,000 checks. And this year's the year of $100,000 checks. But that's not my favorite. My favorite is going to Walmart and doing what I call blind blessings, putting $100 bills in jeans pockets or inside of shoes and baby shoes, and just a person who's just in there getting a necessity, raising the lid on the formula and putting $100 bill right under it, and they just get it home and they just got $100 and they don't know where it came from. At Christmas, I go to all the places that I don't even eat from anymore, Dunkin' Donuts, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, and I buy a $500 gift card and I just say, use this until it's gone.
Oh, wow.
I just love blessing people. Like, it's just amazing. Like, I just love being able to give. Like, it's so fun. I remember being 10 and saying, I'm going to be a philanthropist.
Yeah.
I want to be able to give money away.
10 was a powerful year for you.
It was.
That was the game-changing year
Yeah.
for you.
It was a really, really great year.
I
It really
love
was.
that. I love that.
In my head, I'm thinking about yesterday when we were talking with Tiffany, we talked about trauma from your younger self. Is there anything from that 10-year-old that you still carry now?
I don't think so. I did a lot of work. I wanna address Monica. So Monica, and I'm going to say something. Normally I wouldn't, but I want to say something because I misspoke. When I first started, my whole team was white. My whole team is not white today. And I don't agree with you, but I think you can have the perspective that you have, and I don't love you any less because that's what you feel. I wanted a knowledge that I could not find in my community, and I went and I got that knowledge. But today, my entire team is black. I did misspeak earlier, so I want to correct that. And I love you for having your opinion, and I'm glad that you asked it because I think it takes courage, and I appreciate you holding me accountable and calling me out on something that made you uncomfortable. So I don't even know where you are here, but I just want to honor you for that. And I just also ask that in the future, if that is the way that you feel, you present it in a way that still honors the other person, because any decision that anybody chooses to make is their own decision to make. And we don't have a responsibility to do something that makes you feel comfortable. So I hope you can honor that as I honored you in sharing your opinion. Thank you.
And then let me see, there was another question, and it can be tomorrow if anything, but can you show us how to, they said trade on the E-Trade platform.
Yes. I'll make sure to have E-Trade program tomorrow so we can go through that again on the sell side too. And I didn't say this earlier, but E-Trade actually is giving a sale right now. If you open your account with them, you can get up to $1,000.
Nice.
For free in your account.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to reach out to some representatives from E-Trade to make sure that y'all can get access to that too. But on their website, they have that, so I can show you that tomorrow.
Yes. And so now this last question is for both of you, actually. And either one can answer first. But what do you believe is the most powerful change, if it's just one thing that you can make to completely transform your life, at no matter where you are? I know you said that you had gotten to the place to where you didn't have hope anymore.
Yeah.
So
She said that on my podcast, girl. I was like, you're going to have to run that thing back.
Listen,
oh,
run
my
it
gosh,
back.
it was so good. That's what I love about Terry, but
when she said it to me, I was like, wait, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Say it again. Help me understand.
she thinks so big.
Yes.
And it doesn't even feel big to her.
No, it
it's
feels
just
right
so
now.
happenstance. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like. I had her speak at my God Girls Making Millions event. It was the cutest thing because she's the cutest person. And she's standing up there and she's like, I don't know how many of you have done $50 million with your course. Like everybody in the room has done $50 million. We like boo, boo, boo. No, you the only one. It's you. We're happy that you're here to tell us how you did it. But she just does not have you don't have lack in your body.
Yeah.
And I just love that. I just love that about you. That was not the question, however. What was the question?
That's okay. The question is what do you believe is the most powerful change you can make to completely transform your life?
To change your mind. To stop giving your past permission to speak.
Yes.
And to give your future the promise of the potential of growing into the version of yourself God saw you to be before you were in your mother's womb.
Without.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
Drop the mic.
Drops the mic.
I think for me, the recent transition that I've had to take is learning how to take up space. When I was younger and family, when I say something, then it's like, so I apologize in advance for any of my family on here. But when I was younger, my mom was a comedian. And, comedians, they, like she was trained comedian, like you go on stage. And, comedians, they have those times where they will like reel on somebody. And it's just part of the show. Everybody laughs. But I would always feel so uncomfortable for those people. So I think in my life, I kind of grew up always trying to make sure that everybody was okay, like be extra accommodating. And so if anybody has to be uncomfortable, it would be me, not them.
Oh, wow.
And I think learning how to actually take up full space has been something that has transformed my life. Like, God has gifted you in so many ways. Like, you are the one, to your point. You are the one.
Yeah.
Take up space and be fully who he has called you to be.
Yeah.
Like, even this, I feel like, has been no, Terry, they want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Type of moment. So I think that's a
And
transition.
I hope that they have been elevated just by seeing you do this. Like, to say, you know what, I want to get the studio. Like, I mean, I wish you guys were all here so that you could experience what it looks like to be looking at your beautiful faces. Like, this is amazing. This is not everyday common. It's not. And I just want to just point, I mean, everybody who has invested in themselves through Stocks 101, you invested in yourself. You didn't invest in Terry. You invested in yourself through what Terry has produced to teach you something that you can pass down. Every single one of you are your teacher and mentor for your self-paced course thinks so well of you that she thinks big on display for you so that you can see what it looks like to get to that point and to show other people. Like, that's the community that you're in. And I just want to make sure that you get that you understand that, because this is a defining moment. You will look back at your life 1 year, 3 year, 5 years from now, or someone will ask you on a podcast when you're talking about that $1 million in a day trade that you made. And they're going to say, Miami, Ebony, Aisha, Mina, Gail, Shannon, my girl Sherelle up there, Denise, Ebony. What was your defining moment? And you're going to be able to clearly, succinctly, boldly, and proudly state, it was that week I spent going through the Take Your First Trade Challenge and the decision that I made to invest in myself through Terry E.G. Oma to learn Stocks 101, which is the reason why I'm sitting here today just making $1 million in a day. Oh, do you feel it? Ah, that's what's about to happen because you are here for such a time as this. It's so significant, and I don't want you to miss it. I know you could be at the club. Some of y'all
Right,
going to
it's
the
Friday
club
night.
as soon as we get done.
Nah, me, I'm going to bed.
Me too. I'm going to club BED.
Listen, right there with the bouncers,
Listen.
Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Pillow.
Listen.
Mrs.
Yes.
and Mrs. Pillow.
But my point being, you could be on a date night.
Yeah.
You could be sitting on the couch watching Ratchet TV. You could be doing anything, and you are literally shifting the generational trajectory of your lineage right here, right now.
Yeah.
I honor all of you for that. It is such a big deal. It is such a big deal. Yes. And I'm just so proud of you. I honor you, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you said yes to yourself in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I've seen a couple questions from the VIP students in our class. If you're already a trade and travel student, then no, you don't have to do Stocks 101 because you already have access to it. So you can just log in. And there's a couple of you that said, like, if I'm a trade and travel student and I can't find my login, what do? Then go to teachable.com and do forgot password. And then you'll be able to see all of your courses in Teachable, including this one.
We don't tell Frederick how many days and hours. So it's 8 weeks worth of content. It's self-paced. It's over 40 hours.
Yes, excuse me. I think this part might be a little less than 40 hours, but it's about 8 weeks worth of content.
And you have lifetime access. Remember, lifetime. So if you need to, and you should, because Terry told us yesterday, after you go through it the first time, go through it again. Because the goal is to be able to learn it, to know
master
it,
it.
to know it like you know your name, to be able to go in there and be able to explain it not only to yourself, but to be able to explain it to your child if they need to.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're going through it over and over and over again because we have a responsibility to ourselves. We already made a commitment to ourselves. Now we need to take that commitment and promise that we are going to move our legacy along.
Yeah.
Because the Millionaire Cousins, we got to have us a retreat. We got to get to Puerto Rico too to protect our wealth.
Yes.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I see two questions. Lumumba. Oh, it scrolled away.
Uh-oh.
I don't remember what it was. Lumumba. Can you say it again? And then someone asked if I will pray. And listen, don't threaten me with a good time. I will absolutely pray. How do you balance studying, learning when you're running a business and dealing with life curveballs that are thrown at you and it doesn't seem like there's enough time in a day?
I personally would take that question and immediately say, let me find time.
Absolutely.
Because if you already know that things and curveballs are coming your way, and we just talked about what you speak into your life, that means that you also know that you can find time for what you actually want. Because you're about to invite everything wrong into your life, and you're planning for it in advance.
Yes.
So being really intentional right now is going to be really important for you to make that choice now. To say, you know what, I'm actually going to find 30 minutes, an hour each day, or each week to do this for myself, and I'm going to protect that time. That's going to be extremely important for you in this moment, because right now you're already telling yourself you can't do it.
Yeah. And I will tell
That's
you
good.
too. So again, I'm gonna tell y'all just a little bit more about my business. I run 4 businesses. I have a 14-year-old who is an award-winning competitive gymnast, and I am the only person who drives. She does not drive, and I'm doing it without support. So I am a single mom. I wake up an hour earlier than I have to do for anything else because it matters so much to me that I am dedicated to learning and to studying. I study something that I'm learning every single day, and I give myself an entire hour before the world asks for everything from me. So
that's good.
a practical application is wake yourself up an hour earlier. That's why I'm normally in the bed. So just being up at 11 o'clock at night, baby, is a challenge for me. I am in the bed by 9:30 because it matters to me that I dedicate myself to learning.
Yeah.
And when I say for businesses, I really do mean that all day long. You can ask the people here. I am on a call. I am giving people what they need, what they want, working on large projects. You can do whatever you decide to do. I bought a car that is big enough that it has Wi-Fi and a plug in the back so I can work in my car at my daughter's gymnastics. She is there 22 hours a week.
Wow.
And I am the driver. There is no driver unless I Uber sometimes. But either way, if you want to do it, nothing but death can keep you from it. So decide
purple
that I'm going
blessing.
to wake up, okay? I'm going to wake up an hour earlier. I'm going to dedicate that time. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. For 30 minutes in the morning, each morning, I am either reading a book or studying one of the training programs that I have paid for that I'm taking to learn something new. If you introduce doubt, doubt is what you'll have.
Yeah, and I would just add to that, the time that you spend watching TV or in your car listening to the latest twerk song, you could be listening to a podcast. You can ask any course that you're in, you can ask them if they can put it into a private podcast. Is there a way for you to download the audio so you can listen to them on the go? Like, make your car a mobile university. I learned that from Brian Tracy 100 years ago. So I don't watch TV because I have never been watching TV and money popped out of it.
And you can watch you can watch our course on your phone.
Yeah.
So I put it in the phone in the car sometimes.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So you decide. We all only have 24 hours. Beyonce, Oprah, Tyler, they got 24 hours just like us. And the other thing is, as you make more money, you can delegate more, so you can hire more team. I don't cook. I have a chef that cooks for us. I don't wash clothes. I remember when I was in Mary Kay, I didn't get to tell y'all that either. I had some pink Cadillacs. Mary Kay Ash said, focus on what you want to expand. I don't need a bigger toilet and I don't need more laundry, so I don't do them. I have people for that. Rachel talked about that too, and when she talked about her $1 million habits, delegate some stuff. So I delegate, and if you would, if you stop drinking Starbucks, I'm not saying that you are, but if you drinking Starbucks, that coffee like $5. You could save that up, and that could go towards the laundry person. It's like $1 a pound. And if you send it on a regular basis, it won't be that much that you cannot give them $30 to take hours off your plate. Like, I don't want to spend my Saturday washing. Yeah. I just don't. So I delegate, right? And so that's the other thing. If you have, depending on the ages of your children or whatever support you have, ask for help. As Black women, I know the majority of us here are Black women. We do not ask for help. And we have all heard a closed mouth does not get fed. Ask for help. The worst case scenarios, the answer is no. But guess what? The answer is already no if you don't ask. But you might actually get some support. Ask. Karen White said it. Y'all remember the song from the 90s? I'm not your superwoman.
I love how you put the beat.
I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything is okay.
It's the fact you know the song.
I
You
am
know all the words.
only human. This girl needs a little bit more. So stop trying to do everything.
Yes.
Get you some help. I'll be in concert next week now.
Right? That's right.
I'm showing off,
nice
y'all, 'cause
voice.
I don't normally sing in public. But I'm
She
just
feels
saying.
comfortable amongst us.
I am.
That means
That's because this good family. This
Listen,
has been
because y'all my cousins. That's
Yes.
why.
Millionaire Cousins.
Yes.
Hey, cousin. Listen, as we are closing out, I want y'all to say hello to your millionaire cousin. Just put millionaire cousins in the chat.
Yes.
Hey,
Hello
millionaire
to each other.
cousins.
Make sure if you have not already purchased the Stocks 101 class that you purchased it, I'm going to be in there with y'all.
Me too, girl.
I need you all to make sure that you are making an intentional investment in the legacy that you want to create. And as long as you are living, there is still a chance for you to create everything that you want, because time is not up and it is not over. And you are powerful beyond belief. You're going
Yes.
to take that power and make some changes with it. So,
Yes.
Millionaire Cousins, we will see you.
Oh, they wanted me to pray. Can
Oh,
yeah,
of
yes.
course.
Press out?
Yes,
Yes.
please
All
pray.
right.
So we'll pray and then we'll see you tomorrow.
Pretend like y'all touching and agreeing. All right, we're going to touch and agree over here. Lord God, we just say thank you. Just first and foremost, God, we honor you for who you are. We thank you for the mighty move that you allowed to take place this week. God, we thank you for using Terry, for using her to show us the things that we don't know so that we can live and experience the abundance that you sent your son for us to experience. God, we thank you that your promises are yes and amen. God, we thank you that you said in your word that there is no good thing you will withhold from us if we walk uprightly. God, we thank you that if you be for us, it matters not who is against us. So God, as we leave this place, but never your presence, we just ask that you fortify us, that you remind us of who we are and who you created us to be, that we have power and we have dominion and we have authority to call those things that are underneath our subjection in a line so that we can walk boldly and move as you called for us to move. God, we thank you right now in advance for the trades that we will make that will shift the generational trajectories. God, we thank you for the money that is coming in, that as we do our work, as we forgive ourselves, as we forgive others, as we remember to build a strong, committed, and loving relationship with you and with money, that it will show up fully for us, that we can walk boldly into the wealth that you have given us the power to create. God, we love you. God, we honor you, and God, we thank you. Now unto him who is able to do exceeding and abundant above all you could ever ask of, think, or imagine, to the only wise God, our Savior, be glory, power, and dominion from here until forever. And let us all say amen.
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 Thank you all for joining us this week. We'll see you all tomorrow for our VIP bonus session. Bye.
Have a good night. Ah!